Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Rally to Read!
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. It's a challenging time to be a black leader in America. Recently, my colleagues at Bloomberg Business Week brought together a group of prominent black executives to talk about how they're navigating the White House, rollbacks in DEI initiatives, and the current mood in America surrounding race. Lisa Wardell is on the board of directors at American Express. She talked about the recent change in how DEI policies are perceived.
The narrative now is it shouldn't be DEI, it's merit. Everything is merit-based. But merit is contingent on access. And what's happened is we're talking about the merit, which we all agree with merit too, and we're talking about it in a vacuum without access. If you don't have the access, you cannot get in the room to perform.
Supporters of DEI policies argue that keeping them in place doesn't stop high performers from getting jobs they deserve. It just grants more people the opportunity to compete for them. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Pros, save more on what you need to get the job done right now at Lowe's. Get 15% off select custom entry and interior doors. Plus, save $80 on the DeWalt 20-volt Max 2-tool combo kit, now just $169. And at the Lowe's Pro Desk, bring us your materials list and get a quote in minutes. Handwritten, a photo, or even a sticky note is all you need. Keep your jobs moving faster and on budget at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You're listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL, Milwaukee, a Milwaukee Black Media Company.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
He steps to the mic with a boom ping ping, wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting, words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom ping ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom ping ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, oh the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, or the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Wednesday, July 1, 2026. We are about 72 hours away from the famed celebration of the holiday, the 4th of July, Independence Day in America. I know a lot of you probably have some travel plans. You're going to go on vacation and all of the things that people do during this early summer holiday. But to do the holiday some justice, I think it is worthy of our time and attention to do a much more critical look of just how complicated and nuanced this holiday is. It's not just barbecues and fireworks and all of the things that we associate with a holiday. It's a very complicated place that America has always found itself in. And I don't know, after these 250 years, if we have remedied some of those complications. So to give some kind of respect to how nuanced the 4th of July is, I'm going to share some information with you today that maybe gives you the kind of perspective that I wish more people had about American history, because we are consistent in repeating the bad parts of history because we don't know and have not studied or critically analyzed the bad parts of history that came before. And so they're all just kind of playing themselves out all over again. It is also a bit of unusual irony. July 4th is the 200th anniversary of the death of Thomas Jefferson, who indeed was also a very complicated man. And there was a very important historical artifact that has been preserved. It is in the possession of the Library of Congress, but it's not discussed and people don't know about it. In fact, I just became aware of it recently, and I wanted to share this very important historical document that sheds a whole different perspective on the history of this country, but it was never taught in schools, and it was omitted intentionally. Thomas Jefferson pretty much wrote the Declaration of Independence. Now, he had a little bit of help, but he wrote it. There was a first draft that he wrote that he brought to the fellow framers and signers, and they said, no, we don't like that. You need to omit it. And it essentially explains in this first draft, I'm going to read a bit of it to you a little bit later on in the program, but we have to circle back with the whole Midtown development and the data center, because there was a meeting that took place and where the development was stalled. I personally think the development is over, so the people that don't want the development to proceed, you're going to get your wish. Now, here's the unfortunate thing. Nothing is going to be at Midtown probably forever. You might as well just bulldoze that existing building, or maybe the city of Milwaukee tries to purchase it from the person that owns it right now, but there will be nothing that goes into that community. And here's the thing, nothing should go there. Because if a community is vulnerable and needs opportunity and needs development and needs catalytic projects, if you're going to let someone from somewhere else tell you to be against something in your own community, you deserve absolutely nothing. And that's just me being objective and not emotional. If you're going to listen to someone that you don't know, who has zero established credibility, they have no track record of even caring about you at all in the past, and they're going to come in and dictate what goes on in your house, you deserve not to have a house. Speaking of houses, it's hot out today. We have a YouTube poll question, assuming that we have it up. I'm assuming you got it up, Xavier. I want to know if you guys have the air conditionings in your house, because if you don't, I don't know how you're alive. How do you do it? I'm curious as to what your life is like if you don't have air conditioning, at least a one-room air conditioner. A one-room air conditioner can get the job done. Now, you need the one-room air conditioner, hopefully, to be in the room in which you sleep. Or maybe you got a couple of them. They're not that expensive. Got some information here how if you are a senior citizen, you will be able to get a free air conditioner. And this program is in part sponsored by Fred Collier. I went to high school with Fred. Shout out to Fred, man. Man, I love seeing Brown Deer High School alumni doing great stuff, giving out free air conditioners to the people that need them, but you got to be an old person because the old people die in the heat. We don't want the old people to die in the heat or die in the cold because the old people die when it gets cold, too. We don't want old people to die. We want them to get older, I guess. We want to keep the old people alive. So I'm going to touch on some of the developments at Midtown because people may not be aware there was a meeting that was supposed to be just a formality to approve the project. Well, that meeting ended up being 6 hours. City planning meetings are never 6 hours. So there's a group of people that stalled it, and they stalled the meeting to push the development forward. They stalled it essentially out of existence. Now there's going to be one more emergency meeting in July. And I think that the same stall tactics are going to be employed and the deal is going to be killed. And I hope that people are happy. I know that there's one group of people that are going to be very happy because they're going to kill a development in the black community and they are offering absolutely nothing in its as a restitution. They're offering no other alternative whatsoever. That like when I look at that on its surface, because I can interpret like how bad it is right now, but 10, 15, 20 years from now, when that area is even worse than it is right now, people in the future are going to say, what exactly did you guys do? And why did you sit on your hands? Like, why has this parcel of land been vacant for now 40 years? What are we going to say? Well, we didn't like it. Okay, well, what didn't you like about it? I don't know, computers and stuff. We didn't, and then people came and told us that we should hate it. And then we were like, all right. And then the people in the future are gonna be like, okay, well, who were those people that told you to hate developing this parcel of land that has been vacant for 40 years? Socialists. Okay. And so that's the explanation. We're going to have so much that we're going to be accountable for in the future. If you think that we are hammering on boomers, because everybody hates boomers apparently, and I think the whole boomer thing, and that's a white person thing, like they hate their boomers because white people hate their parents, because white people kill their parents. It has nothing to do with black people. My boomers were fighting for civil rights and for justice and trying to get black people to vote. That's what my boomers did. White kids are spoiled and entitled because their parents are holding something like $80 trillion worth of wealth. And their parents made the world like unfair for them. And also, I think this younger generation is very angry and very mad because white kids, and I call them white kids, even if they're 40 years old, because some of them still live at home. They're mad that they live in a world where they now have to compete and they're ill-equipped. They have to compete against black people, and they got to compete against people in China and immigrants. And they get mad at their parents because their parents gave them a world in which they now have to compete. And so now they want to tear the whole system down. That ain't got nothing to do with me. The problem is when white people beef, we're all involved in it. Like when Donald Trump tried to buy or steal or take over Greenland, black people had to take to social media and be like, hey, Greenland, this is not us. We have nothing to do with this. So when white people get mad at each other, why are they always dragging us into it? Settle your own beefs. Go back to Europe where you guys used to fight all the time and nobody even cared. They used to fight in Europe and eat each other. They used to do really bad things. In fact, for 1,000 years, nothing happened in Europe. They called it the Dark Ages. Literally an under-evolved people that did nothing for a whole 1,000 years while Africans were, I don't know, building pyramids, doing math, counting the stars and doing all the astronomy, and white people were just beating each other with clubs. But I'm not racist. I'm just telling the truth in the histories. So we are going to circle back with the whole Midtown development because it's dead, and it probably should be. Because if a community that is underfunded and under-resourced, if they are going to listen to people that do not have their best interests in mind, and if they're going to believe those people over the reality of what they see, then you deserve nothing. It's going to be a great lesson to learn. Unfortunately, it's going to be a painful one because we are harming a yet unborn future that is going to be doomed to repeat the lack of opportunity and the oppression that we see right now. We have 30 more years of homicides. We have 30 more years of horrendous crime figures, especially in the summertime, because we are not doing anything or enough right now. There's nothing tangible happening right now to where we can prevent these things from happening in 30 years. Because if a kid can't read right now, and then they grow up and they become adults and then they have children, that's another 2 generations of people that are functionally illiterate. So if kids are not on grade level at 100% in 2026, in 2056, you're going to have a cohort of 30-year-old, 20-year-old, 10-year-olds, and 5-year-olds that are also probably going to be illiterate. And I don't know how you climb yourself out of the situation that we find ourselves in right now, but we are not making any necessary progress. But I did an analysis of this because I'm figuring out, like, wait a minute, why is everything still so screwed up? It's getting worse now because the current presidential administration has illustrated the progress that has been made that we believe that we fought for and that we earned. When I say we, I'm talking about us. We think that those rights they're fixed, that they're preservative, that they cannot be abridged. Lies. Total lies. Total lies. We thought that we had made all this progress and we crossed all the rivers, even though there are many rivers to cross. We thought that it was going to be like a permanent place where we can only move forward. We right now, if you look at all of not just the voter ID laws, but the gutting of the Voting Rights Act, where you can now redistrict black people out of their own representation. We're probably right now, if I'm going to compare this era to a time in the Civil Rights Movement, it would be, I can't even say Nixon, because Nixon oversaw HUD. Nixon was an environmentalist. Now, he was a crook. Probably, we got to go back before Kennedy. I can't even say Eisenhower, because even Eisenhower signed civil rights legislation. I can't even say Harry S. Truman, because Harry S. Truman integrated the military because he saw the performance of black soldiers, and in some cases outperformed white soldiers with lesser and faultier and older equipment. So I can't, probably, maybe FDR, Calvin Coolidge. So right now, we're in the year, if I'm going to compare somewhere in history to where we are right now in 2026, we're probably in 1926. That is roughly where we are. And I had to figure out, especially in a city like Milwaukee, where we have a ton of black representation, and I know that we use that as an excuse. Hell, I've used it as an excuse. Why are the conditions so bad and literally getting worse? When you have, should I go through the list? Black chairwoman of the county board, black county executive who's also a candidate for governor, black sheriff, black police chief, black mayor, majority black common council. I'm just going to let y'all know right now, none of that matters. It's just symbolic, because when you aspire, and it's more a representation of, there are more black people in the city. The African American is the plurality race. We're not the total majority. We're like 40%, 41, 42 on a good day. Depends on how many of y'all fill out your census. So we're not the overwhelming majority, but we are the plurality. And the black representation that we see is 2 things. Our sheer numbers, and that even when we vote in lower percentages, even lower percentages of black people, is still more black people voting than, say, in years past. So you're going to get African-American representation. But it's also a resignation of white people to even want to run in areas where they would be required to represent black people. A lot of these majority districts that we have right now, majority, say, county board districts, school board districts, or aldermanic districts, and they were always like a plurality black going back 40, 50 years. White people would run and would win. Now the white folks don't even want to be bothered with us, because why would they? And so that is a reason why we have the black representation that we have. But we think that, okay, we have more black people in great offices and high offices, and it's history making. It is. It's fantastic. It might provide motivation for a younger African American to say, oh, I want to be county executive and run for governor, or I want to be Amanda LaBarnes, whatever he is. I don't even know what he does for a living. Anybody know what Mandela Barnes does for a living other than run for office? Let me leave Mandela alone. I keep beating up on Mandela. That's not a nice thing to do. So there's a history-making aspect of it, but we want it to bear fruit because when you have all of the marches and the protests and black people need representation and black power and we want to be able to vote. Okay, cool. We got all that. And look what we have. We got black people everywhere in all the positions. And conditions are getting worse. You get elected to an office and you don't change the office, the structure, or the institution of the office. You inherit the office from your predecessor. And in inheriting offices from your predecessor, it is a replication, a duplication of the systemic and institutional oppression that made Milwaukee segregated in the first place. Just because we have black people in positions, black people are just placeholders in seats that were originally used to create the foundation of this city, which is one that was intentionally segregated, not just geographically, but segregated when it comes to resources and investment. So you would think with all the black people everywhere, if you have black representation, how are white people able to come into a black neighborhood and a black community and control development? So the black representation means a lot less than any of us ever thought. So here's what we're going to do today. Because this is my last day here. This is my Friday. Xavier, I don't know what you going to do. You still going to be here tomorrow and Friday, correct?
Yeah, we'll be broadcasting the socialism with Xavier.
I know that's not going to happen. So you're going to be playing a replay. I'll tell you what. I'll let you choose the replays. So I'll let you go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that. You're welcome. But because this is my Friday, because I'm not here tomorrow and on Friday, we're going to, talk about some things, get it all wrapped up, get it all sewn up, hopefully answer all of your questions. Because I love y'all, but I need a break. I need to rest now. I'm going to chill out. Nowhere. Just going to eat some Kit Kat candy bars and try and stay cool. I might venture out a little bit. You might see me outside a little bit. If you see me outside, especially if you see me doing hood rat stuff, leave me alone. Don't take no pictures. Don't take no video. Don't post me on social media. I deserve to have a life too. Mama need a life too. Take a break. Come back. I'm going to unravel a lot of things. We're going to talk about the 4th of July. We're going to talk about the original draft version of the Declaration of Independence, where one of the biggest grievances, I love it so much, even though Thomas Jefferson was a complicated man, but he loved black cooter cat. He loved it. It was so sweet to him. He's like, oh, goodness. This cooter cat is delicious. Love it so much. Num, 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 num. One of the biggest grievances of why the United States wanted to break away from England was not the Boston Tea Party and taxes and being loyal subjects of the king. It actually was slavery. And Thomas Jefferson put that in the original draft of the Declaration of Independence. But Northern and Southern delegates said, but we make too much money off of slavery, Thomas. We don't like it either, but we're rich. And he was like, well, can we at least put it in the Declaration of Independence so history can know that we really detested slavery, but we're kind of enslaved to the institution? They said, no, rewrite it. And he was like, oh. Thomas Jefferson Randolph, his grandson, after Thomas Jefferson died July 4th, 1826, the grandson found the original version of the Declaration of Independence, which excoriates slavery in King James III. It's a beautiful piece of history you have never heard before. We're going to talk about that today. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know dads, the ones who know how to build it all, grill it all, and fix it all while still taking the time to share it all. So show them how much you care with great Father's Day gifts for one-of-a-kind dads, like men's work and sport short-sleeve plaid shirts, just $19.99. And new at Blaine's, save $50 on the Milwaukee M18 leaf blower when you buy a qualifying Milwaukee line trimmer. Find value on the Gifts Hill value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
oh, it's on...
SmokeyBear.com, with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Reginald says via the YouTube chit chat. Oh, by the way, search 1017 The Truth on the YouTube, hit subscribe. You'll be able to view the live in studio cameras of me pretty much banging on the table for 3 hours. You'll also be able to participate in our YouTube chat. Make sure you like and subscribe. And also you can vote on our poll. Do you have air conditioning at your house? It's been very hot lately. It's going to be hot for a few more days. If you don't have air conditioning, how do you survive? Just come home and get naked? Sometimes that doesn't even help. Because if you're naked, you're still hot and you're naked. So that doesn't help. How do you sleep? I can't sleep in the hot. I can sleep in the cold real good. I put my fan on. I got a ceiling fan. I got like 3 ceiling fans in my house. And I have hardwood floors, which helps keep the house a little bit cooler because carpet absorbs the heat. I got the hardwood floors. I got the ceiling fans. And I have central air as well because I couldn't live without it. But I'm worried, though. I'm nervous because my central air is at the end of its rope. It's real old. It's 23 years old. I hope it makes it because eventually I got to replace it. I don't want to replace it now, though, because it's going to be like $6,000. But I got to pay it because I can't be hot. I don't like hot. Hot makes people angry. I don't like it. So if you have air conditioning, consider yourself lucky. There's actually a story that appears in the journal Sentinel today, and it gives a geographic map of the houses in Milwaukee County where they don't have air conditioning, and it's a lot. And it's concentrated in the neighborhoods in which you would think there's an overlap with poverty. But you can get a window air conditioner for probably the price of one Air Jordan. And it's worth it, isn't it? I think it's worth it, but we'll get to that later. I have a lot of stuff to get to today. Sometimes 3 hours ain't enough. For Real Sports says, it's not that we don't want Midtown to have nothing. We just don't want to see the data center as the most beneficial. There needs to be a Meijer or a warehouse of some sort. Are you insane? Why do we live on another planet? And I'm not trying to be mean to you, but we come up with ideas that make sense to no one. A Meijer can't keep a Walgreens or a CVS. Look how many grocery stores are going to close. And oh, by the way, here's what's going to happen. So not only is that not going to happen for Real Sports, and you commented some other things, and I'm going to get to those as well. Not only is that not going to happen, but that pick and save that's on the other side, it's on the south end of that where the Walmart was, there's a pick and save, that's going to be closed by next summer. So not only is a grocery store, and first of all, think about this for a second. You're asking for another grocery store to come in where a grocery store is already there at Midtown, and that one is slowly dying. So Meijer ain't stupid. In fact, there's not a single Meijer in Milwaukee because they know better. I go to the Meijer. Meijer got good watermelon. I'm not ashamed to admit that I love watermelon. I love it. I have to have it. I like watermelon juice. I like the watermelon with the seeds, without the seeds. I like Black Diamond watermelons. I like generic watermelons. I eat a watermelon a week. That's right. Ooh, and I like when it's cold, too. I eat at room temperature. I even eat a hot watermelon. It's not my favorite, but I love me a watermelon. I give me a watermelon. What you got? You got to wash it off because watermelon sits in the field. You got to take it, put it in the sink, and you got to wash it off. Just rinse it off real good. You got to wrench it off. Wrench off that watermelon. And you cut it. Cut it in half. and immediately you wrap up one of the halves and put it in the refrigerator. That's your cold melon. And then you take the other half of that melon and I scoopity scoop, scoop, scoopity scoop, scoop, scoopity scoop, scoop, scoop. And I got a watermelon bowl. It's a big bowl. Okay. And I get the big chunk, I get the watermelon heart out of it. I got a whole science to this. Okay. I scoopity scoop, scoop, scoopity scoop, scoop. I put it in my watermelon bowl. Okay. And I put that in the refrigerator too. That's my cold melon. And then what I don't scoop out, I take that spoon and I just eat it right there on my counter. I got watermelon juice all over my chest. I'm glistening and shining. I'm sticky sweet. Probably just wearing underwear. If y'all ever put a hidden camera in my house. But no, my hair is not. We think that there's more value in our community than there actually is. Think about this. The houses are dilapidated, the streets are busted up with potholes, and the schools are failing. But yet we believe that we are entitled to all of these things. You have to start somewhere with development. An example I give is when I was a kid and I couldn't take care of myself, I wasn't earning my own money. I was totally dependent on my parents. I wanted McDonald's cheeseburgers every single night for dinner, something I never got sick of. I wanted a McDonald's cheeseburger, I want some French fries, and I wanted an orange soda. That's what I wanted. Sometimes I had to eat meatloaf and peas. And my mother would say, you're not getting McDonald's, you're eating meatloaf and peas. Until you can buy your own McDonald's, you're eating what I serve you. A community that's underfunded, undersourced, and just dilapidated doesn't get to pick and choose. Now, here's the thing. I would ask, how come black folks don't buy Midtown? Y'all want something there so bad, why don't y'all put some money together? Because here's the thing. We actually have the money to do it. In the 10 years since that Walmart left, there have only been 2 offers to buy that Walmart. 2. The guy that bought it right now, Trent Overhue, he was the one that actually purchased it from Walmart. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. And if this deal doesn't go through, and it won't, it's going to sit vacant forever, and it's going to kill that pick and save. And guess what we're going to do next summer? The grocery stores keep leaving. I'm telling you what can be done to have some kind of development there, because we have to hope that it can spur additional development. But if you just say no, and here's the thing. If I ask somebody, why are you against the quote-unquote data center? The reasons why they tell me are lies. It's made up. It's propaganda delivered by somebody else. It's not a data center. The Walmart polluted more. There were more flush toilets from that Walmart. Walmart used more water. There's these things called externalities. And whenever a Walmart comes into a community, they're heavy on the externalities. So these are things that Walmart, like issues and problems that Walmart causes because it's so big that the taxpayers are responsible for. The Walmart was way more environmentally harmful than 19,000 square feet of servers that are going to keep your medical records private. Y'all know that businesses and companies and corporations and banks and stuff, they don't have filing cabinets anymore. I don't know if you ever noticed that, but back a long time ago, like all of your records would be in this filing cabinet. All that stuff is stored digitally. I don't know if you guys know, in the year 2026, we don't use filing cabinets anymore because filing cabinets require paper. And sometimes it requires people to actually write stuff in the files. Nobody even knows how to write anymore. So everything is stored digitally. And the computers that are needed to store our information, like our medical records and our banking records, those computers have to be really big. Because every time you make a transaction, every time you use your credit card, that is stored somewhere digitally. And it's got to be stored in a very large computer. That is not the same as an AI data center, but people are so goddamn ignorant. You can tell. I could walk around and say, hi, I'm Sherwin Hughes. I'm an AI data center. And then people will just start protesting me. Even though you know that I'm Sherwin Hughes, you know that I'm a human being. If somebody says, look, it's a walking data center, it'll be a bunch of blue and pink haired people just chasing me down, protesting me. That's how gullible we are. It's so frustrating because I look around, I'm like, what planet am I on? It's the same folks that complain that we have nothing, we're getting nothing, and then when something comes, they're so used to nothing, they just want more nothing, because getting something feels like oppression. Getting something means they must be up to something. They must be trying to trick us by developing this neighborhood and developing what is literally an illegal dumping site. Now, believe it or not, there are some people that want Midtown to be vacant forever. Believe it or not, there are some people that want you to have nothing. No, seriously, those people actually exist. One of them is president, but then they They also come in other shapes and sizes, and I think that we as black people, we're so gullible because we're vulnerable. Donald Trump's reelection it's an exercise in retribution. And some of us are so naive, and I don't want to be mean to my people because we don't know what we don't know. Trump in this term didn't just make Trump supporters and Republicans more racist. First of all, you can't be more racist. It's kind of an all or nothing. I guess you can be kind of prejudiced, but Trump supporters and that brand of Republicans that are easily turned into hate mongers, they've always been racist. Here's what Trump did that we don't see. It's turned even white Democrats more racist too. It's not just the conservatives that became more racist when Trump got reelected. It made it so that white people in general, writ large, can be more racist. I'll give you another example. I can take race out of it and I can use gender. Donald Trump has brought back this increase of misogyny. Now, some men have always just hated women and hate what they stand for and just hate women across the board. It's not just conservative men that are more misogynistic. It's Democratic men too. It's black men. It's Latino men. It's all men. So white people have become more racist, not just the conservative ones, because they were already racist. Trump has made it more comfortable for even liberals and progressives and Democrats to become more racist. I have an article that a guy by the name of Alan Robinson penned, and Alan Robinson is from Madison, and he talks about how incessantly, disgustingly racist Madison, Wisconsin is. And he pens this beautiful article. I want to read it to you with no interruption because I want you to hear it. Madison is the most liberal and progressive place on earth. Oh my God, Black Lives Matter. That's performative. White people will display Black Lives Matter signs in neighborhoods where there's no black people because they don't want black people to live there. It's how progressives virtue signal to one another. It ain't got nothing to do with us. The incarceration rate of black people in Madison is 14 times that of white residents, and black folks are like 5% of the population in Madison, but make up probably 60% of the people incarcerated. Madison is as racist as you can find a place, but we are duped in thinking that they're not racist because there's a bunch of progressives there. Progressivism is for white people. Their brand of it is not for us, and it's not inclusive of us. And you got to keep in mind, Trump has made it more comfortable and more palatable and more status quo for even progressives to hate black people. But we get fooled. We think that they're our friends. When have they ever been our friends? I'm going to take a break, come back, continue my little casual, nice, delightful chit chat. Just being matter of fact. Got the 4th of July coming up. Probably going to eat some barbecues and some watermelons. Have watermelon juice dripping all down our collective black chins. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Don't let summer pass you by. Turn it all the way up at Summerfest. The music, the moments, the memories you'll replay all year long. Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance. June 18th through 20th, June 25th through 27th, and July 2nd through 4th. Your soundtrack to summer starts here. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know dads, the ones who know how to build it all, grill it all, and fix it all while still taking the time to share it all. So show them how much you care with great Father's Day gifts for one-of-a-kind dads, like men's work and sport short-sleeve plaid shirts, just $19.99. And new at Blaine's, save $50 on the Milwaukee M18 leaf blower when you buy a qualifying Milwaukee line trimmer. Find value on the gifts he'll value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Rally to read!
App and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, Vanessa, not really a city girl, and Linda, Reginald Jones, who dominates our YouTube chat. He just has conversations with himself. He just talks about whatever comes to mind, but we love him so very much. He's affectionately called Unc. He's that uncle at the barbecue that takes that extra plate home. You know how you make a plate, and then you get another plate to put on top of it to cover it, which doesn't really do a very good job. All right, I got some details here that I want to share with you. So I think we put too much emphasis on when we put black people in certain places that they can fix stuff for black people. Did Obama do that? Obama was president of the world, because the world, for the most part, listens to America. Because if you don't listen, we'll put economic sanctions on you and kill your children. You guys know how brutal economic sanctions are? We hear them and we don't really think about what that means. Economic sanctions is, let's say, Pfizer, Merck, and I don't know, another pharmaceutical, maybe Moderna, right? Let's say they make 95% of the insulin that children with, what's the baby diabetes? Type 1? Type 2? What's the old fat people diabetes? Type 1 is, okay, type 2 is what us blacks get. Type 1 is the baby children get. Okay. So let's say those pharmaceutical companies that are American companies make 90% of the insulin that children with type 1 diabetes need to survive. When America puts economic sanctions on your country and we say we are increasing sanctions, then American companies that make drugs and pharmaceuticals that, babies need, American companies can no longer sell your country insulin and your kids die. That's what economic sanctions are. Barack Obama was just as symbolic as any other black elected official, because we seem to think that when black people get elected that they can rid racism. Racism is much more durable than any black person in most black movements, because even the things that we fought so hard to get can be taken away with Donald Trump's signature. So to think that, we have a bunch of, do you think that white people are just be like, all right, blacks, go ahead. Here, write your own budgets. Here, you guys want reparations? Here you go. Sorry we got in your way for so long. When black people get elected, they are dealing with racism at that same level, at that higher level. Barack Obama dealt with it. Barack Obama was giving a State of the Union address, and a Republican yelled out, called him a liar. I'll never forget. He's like, you lie. Obama was shook. Barack Obama wore a tan suit. They attack his wife, Michelle. Barack Obama, and he played into it. I want to give this example just so we don't have unrealistic expectations. So here's another thing. Some of you are black. Some of you are not. You're a black person, and you probably have racial discrimination, maybe the covert kind, microaggressions on your job. And there might be a few black people that work at your job. I don't know where you work. I'd appreciate if you would stop working between 9 and 12, because right now is when we work together. So whatever you're doing professionally, tell your boss, like, yeah, I need 3 hours off. I'm finna listen to Sherwin. You might have a pretty high position in your company. You might be, I don't know, what's a high position? executive vice manager president of the regional presidential COO FOCEF FABC. You got all of the things, okay? Can you stop racism at your company? No, you're a black person. You got hired. You worked your way up through the ranks. People call you sir or ma'am, like you have a title of respect. You got the corner office. You make nice little money. You might even have a company car they let you drive around in. You might even have a credit card. You have all of the stuff that the executives. Can you stop the white people on your job from being racist? Absolutely not. And in fact, you just kind of deal with it, don't you? You don't stop it. Dealing with racism is not the same as creating policy for people that live inside of a racist system, because the policies that are created for people who might need a little help are still created inside the system. Like, we can do a whole bunch of stuff on Earth. We can do good stuff on Earth. We can do bad stuff on Earth. We can build things on Earth. We can destroy things on Earth. We can have all the science and experiments and do many things on Earth. How much impact do you think that has on the solar system? We can do a lot of stuff on Earth. We can mine the ground for gold and diamonds. We can go to the beach. We can have sex. We can not have sex. We can go for walks and runs. We can go to the gym. We can go to work. We can go to the bank. We can go to Meijer and buy a watermelon. You can do so many things on Earth. At the end of the day, how do we impact the solar system? We don't. The solar system is still going to just continue. We're still going to rotate around the sun. The moon is going to rotate around us. The moon is like our baby. The moon loves Earth so much. She's just there. She makes our tides. Because the tides, guys know about tides. The water in the ocean just bulge from one side to another because the moon has gravitational pull. And I think the moon is a woman. Her name is Luna. Women's periods, the cycle is based off of the moon. 28-day cycles of the moon where they wax and they wane. And did you guys know that? The moon is our baby. It never leaves us. We're also trying to colonize it too. Like, we're trying to just take it over and buy it, but the moon just loves us so very much. But it almost seems like no matter what we do and what heights we achieve, black people expect black people to do extraordinary things when it comes to white people and racism. Racism was built to be durable and unnoticed. It was built to be a system where if black people even try and talk about it or discuss it, we are easily gaslit into thinking it does not exist. That is the system that we are in. We can have a bunch of things going on Earth. We can create things and invent things. We can even leave Earth. But at the end of the day, racism is the solar system. How much impact do we have on other planets rotating the sun? None. And plus, some of our black elected officials they're not good. They're not. Keep this in mind as well. Everybody doesn't want to run for office. The people that run for office are the ones that actually want to do it. Now, I'm not saying that they're all bad. Some of them are fantastic. But some are really dumb. But this is representative government. And here's what I like about representative government. Some districts, I'm not going to pick on the Common Council or the county board or the state, just in general, and not even in Wisconsin, but just other places. You understand there are some districts in America where everybody's dumb and they get a dumb person in office because when dumb people vote, they vote for dumb people too. But that's representative government.
Does that mean America's dumb?
It has its moments. It's not entirely enough. Everybody doesn't have to be dumb. Just the dumb have to have a slight advantage every so often. And every so often, like the smart had an advantage when Obama got elected and reelected. And then the Supreme Court in 2012 was like, wait a minute, we have a Voting Rights Act that made it easier for black people to vote. Let's start gutting it because why? Because a black person got elected. That was where they drew the line. They're like, oh, we got to start. And Texas that night started their voter ID program. Once black people voted in a higher percentage than white people, which happened for the first time in American history in 2012, because the whites were like, oh, the blacks are not going to vote for Barack Obama again. They voted for him once. It was history making. He's going to lose his reelection. And they believed the voter turnout and the enthusiasm would be reduced. It actually was higher. Go look it up if you want to. 2012, the reelection of Barack Obama, African-American turnout was 66%. Caucasian turnout was 64%. Immediately, the Supreme Court was like, the blacks are voting at too high of a number. Start gutting it. take a break, come back, talk to Kiana on the other side. Kiana probably has great things to say. We love when Kiana calls. I don't know if she's ever called before. Maybe she's a first-time caller. We'll see. If you want to be like Kiana or anybody else who calls, 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'll be right back.
Truth in the Morning returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You don't need a name and bright lights. You're a rock star.
I like breaks with no commercials. I didn't get no chance to catch my breath. I don't mind. I can go rapid fire. Plus, this is my last day till next week, Monday. And I don't think I'm going to broadcast on the Hughes Views 414 YouTube show tonight. We had a hot one last night. I talked about Man B, the birth control for men, which I think is a good idea because, can I be honest without offending somebody? We can't trust women to be the only ones taking care of the birth control. So many of y'all are getting pregnant, and we trust y'all to be on the birth control. I think men need to take the birth control too. You need to take the Man B. The women have Plan B. We have Man B. Let's talk to, hi, Kiana. How are you today?
Good morning, Sherwin. Can you hear me just fine?
I can hear you more than fine. Quite loud, actually. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I got a comment and a question about the air conditioners.
Okay.
When was the time in, like, did there end time to get the air conditioner today?
It's for, are you a senior?
No, I know a lot of seniors.
How about this?
Need air conditioners.
All right, I'm gonna get to that story shortly. I'm ranting about other things right now, but I promise I'll give you that story in the detail in its entirety. But in the meantime, how about I give you a telephone number? How about if you want a phone number? I give you air conditioner phone number for the seniors. I can do that for you right now.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah, I'll take it.
All right. 414-488-6927. 414-488-6927. 414-488-6927. Okay, Kiana, go stay cool and go help the seniors stay cool. All right, then. Now, Kiana said, I got to help. She ain't write that down. Nobody ever writes anything down because nobody writes anymore. Nobody has a pen, but I have a pen right here. Look at me. Look. You hear that? That's my pen hitting the microphone, but guess what I don't have? I ain't got no damn paper.
If she subscribed to YouTube, she can actually watch it back.
Yeah, go subscribe to YouTube. She's driving, though, and had us on speaker. Don't do that, everybody. I know that you talk to your friends and your family on speakerphone, especially, when you're out in public and at a store. Why would you want the whole world to hear your conversation? But when you call a radio station, because I have to be concerned about what listeners are hearing and the quality of the listening experience, so don't just put your ear up to the phone like, we used to do in the 1900s. We used to answer the phone and not know who was calling. It was a mystery gift. Hello? Who is this? Oh, you called my house. Now I see somebody call. I answer. It's not even 1 in 10 calls. I maybe answer 1 in 100 telephone calls because when some people call, I'm like, there's no way I'm talking to this person. I guarantee everything they're trying to communicate to me can be communicated via text. There's certain people that just refuse. And then you answer the phone. Hey, what you doing? I'm hanging up, and we can just continue this with text because then I can get back to you when I want to. Imagine if actual telephone calls work like text messages do, because somebody might text me. I may not text you back for 7 hours. Imagine being on the phone with somebody and they don't say anything for 7 hours. Okay, so it's 9:52 right now. And you say, hey, Sherwin, how are you? And I don't respond until 4:52. But we're just on the phone. We're just hanging out on the phone together. One way to explain who currently holds office from the system that they inherit. These are not the same thing. holding office, being elected, and then being a function of what you inherited have got to be paired together. If someone becomes the captain of a ship that's been taking on water for 75 years, simply changing captains does not immediately fix the holes in the hull. Milwaukee is an example of how long-term structural conditions can outlast political change. Here's the basic reality. Milwaukee has had decades of significant black political influence. African Americans are the city's largest racial group. The city has had multiple black mayors. The city has been represented by a black member of Congress. Many common council members are and have been African American, including a majority right now. Numerous county and state elective legislative positions representing Milwaukee have also been held by African Americans. Yet, Milwaukee continues to rank among America's worst large metropolitan areas in black child poverty, residential segregation, wealth gaps, home ownership disparities, incarceration rates, violent crime concentration, educational achievement gaps, and employment disparities. What do you think black elected officials are going to do about that? What are black elected officials going to do about somebody going to prison today? I'm very serious. What are they going to do? Another example of the vulnerability is you have a bunch of people that they dropped out of the sky, they came over to Midtown, they opposed the development, they called it an AI data center, even though it's not an AI data center. The deal is basically dead, nothing is going to happen. Okay, whatever. But if you let an outside person come in and influence the progress you're trying to make, because we complain about the lack of progress, right? But then we let somebody else come in here and then stop the progress that we already aren't getting. Here's another example. We have 8 black members on the Common Council. That is a majority. They can vote for anything they want to, and it will pass. If the black, African-American, Negro elected officials on the Milwaukee Common Council voted all together, every single thing would pass, and maybe they could address black child poverty, residential segregation, wealth gaps, home ownership disparities, incarceration rates, violent crime concentration, educational achievement gaps, and employment disparities. Now, it would take a long time, but think about this. If all 8 of them, which is the majority, voted in the affirmative for any policy that protected and helped and assisted and addressed issues that have been plaguing the black community for, 200 years, they probably could make a little bit of progress to where we could see it and we could feel it, right? But they're being split by Puerto Rican. Y'all didn't hear me. You let blue and pink and purple-haired people come into your community and stifle your development. That's the exact same phenomenon as having a Puerto Rican divide the black members on the Common Council so they never vote together. So the progress we're trying to get, whether it be at Midtown with development, even if you don't like the development, sometimes you got to eat your green beans. My mama used to call it roughage. You got to eat your roughage. It keeps you regular. I don't want to eat no roughage. Eat that broccoli, boy. It keeps you regular. I don't want to be regular. I want to be not regular. Now that I'm older, I really appreciate regularity. Do you see what is happening to us? And we can't blame anybody but us. Blue and pink and purple hair people that have a queer agenda come in and stifle our development, just like a Puerto Rican can split the members of the Common Council. And here's the thing. I don't blame Jose Perez for doing that because it's easy. It's easy to stop development in the black community because we will agree with the people that also want to stifle our progress, and it explains like 82% of why we are where we are. We listen to the wrong people because even black people know that black ideas and black agendas are counterproductive in a white racist system. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for Hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The African American Roundtable, black-led organization on Milwaukee's far northwest side, has launched a safety campaign rooted in the basic need of food access. It's called Feed the Change MKE. Through community engagement, AART learned that easy access to and education about locally sourced and fresh food would help people feel healthier and safer. Also, local food providers need to learn how to engage the community, build awareness, and stay in our community long term. So Feed the Change MKE encourages people to know, grow, prepare, and share food, especially from community-owned and operated stores, gardens, markets, and other culturally relevant sources. We can't rely on big corporations to meet these needs. That's why we must demand the city to invest $1 million into the Healthy Food Establishment Fund, formerly called the Fresh Food Access Fund. Join AART's campaign to win a dignified and choiceful system that we all can thrive in. Visit AARTMKE.org to learn more about Feed the Change MKE.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
You're listening to Milwaukee Black Talk on 101.7 FM.
The Truth.
And 1510 AM. W269DL. Milwaukee. A Milwaukee Black media company.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Tell me what's your appeal. Prove that you're real. Better have 5 killers on you. Based on the game and the things we know, most live a life for sure. If I let you say what's good, guess I ain't good enough.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. New data from the U.S. Census Bureau show that an estimated 10% of households in Milwaukee County do not have air conditioning. So that's probably like 50 or 60,000 houses. Let me check our YouTube poll because I want to know how many of the people that participate and or listen to or view this program have air conditioning. We asked you via YouTube, do you have air conditioning in your primary residence? Well, look at that. 92% of you say yes. So that actually tracks with Milwaukee County Census Bureau figures. So for you 8%ers, how? I think last night it still stayed above 80 degrees at night. 80 degrees is fun when it's daytime and outside. 80 degrees in your house is like domestic violence, right? Because I don't live with anybody, but if I'm hot, I shouldn't say that. That's mean to say that. But when it's hot, you don't want nobody touching you. Don't be all up on me. Oh, come on, you want to cuddle? If you don't get your sweaty, yuck. It's too hot. How do you do it if you don't have any air conditioning? I got a story here where seniors can potentially, I'm sure they're going to run out, can get a free air conditioning unit. Kiana called. She wanted to know about the free air conditioning unit. One of the people who are involved in this program is Fred Collier. I went to high school with Fred. Fred was he was a freshman when I was a senior. Fred was cool, though. He had a real deep voice, even as a freshman. Like, hey, Fred.
Hey, Fred.
Shout out to Fred, man. Love when Brown Deer High School alumni are doing wonderful things in the city. Fred was a freshman when I was a senior, and Fred has gray hair. I don't like seeing that because to me, if I knew you when we were younger, I don't like to see you old because I still remember Fred as a freshman. He's got gray hair. And Fred is probably a grandfather now. I don't like that. I don't like that some of my friends are becoming grandparents. I'm sorry, but if you're a grandparent, you ain't cool no more. You lost it. I'm not even apologizing for that. If you are not.
Can't you be a grandfather?
Absolutely, I could. I thank God I'm not.
Soon, hopefully.
No, hell no. Somebody better take some man B. Man B, man C, man D. No D. No D. No, I don't want to be. Well, I'm just going to hang out with the grandkids. When somebody says that, you're on your way to die. Like it's like death is the next thing. Oh, me and the grandkids are gonna. Anyways, let me leave Fred alone. Fred might not have no kids at all. All right, where are we at here? Let me see. No, not that one. What's this one here? What's this? Right here. As temperatures soar in southeastern Wisconsin, the most effective tool to prevent heat-related illness, air conditioning, is not equally available to everyone. Data published by the U.S. Census Bureau in May show that an estimated 10% of occupied households in Milwaukee County do not have air conditioning, with the percentage being much higher in some parts of the county. The latest census local air conditioning estimates is an experimental data product, meaning it was created using new methodology. That's probably AI. That is still being evaluated and refined. Still, it's meant to fill gaps in understanding which parts of the country and county are most vulnerable to extreme heat. Census tracts in South Milwaukee and Cudahy, believe it or not, had the highest percentages of households without air conditioning, according to a Journal Sentinel analysis of the data, with as much as 25 to 30% of homes lacking. That's because they live by the lake, though, too. I don't think this is a function of poverty. But I'm looking at this color-coded map, and so the darker the area is, the higher the likelihood they don't have air conditioning. And the north side and the near south side of the city of Milwaukee are the darkest sections on the map. And when I look at the map that shows both South Milwaukee and Cudahy, those communities literally border Lake Michigan. It can be 92 degrees in the city of Milwaukee, like further west, and be 71 degrees on the lake. So there's a cooling effect to living on the lake to where air conditioning would not necessarily be required. In the city of Milwaukee, houses without air conditioning were most prevalent in neighborhoods west of Marquette University, such as Avenues West, Miller Valley, and Pigsville. On the north side, Garden Homes, the North Division neighborhood, and the Amani neighborhood. And on the south, Lincoln Village, Clark Square, and historic Mitchell Street lack the ACs. Cooling sites across the city can be found at city.milwaukee.gov/health/cooling sites. You're not going to remember that. But this is an article that appears in the Journal Sentinel. For the most part, there are places that county staff have identified as most vulnerable to hazards like heat, said Dr. Ben Weston, Milwaukee County's chief health policy advisor, due to compounding factors such as poverty, lack of transportation, and poor housing quality. All right, let's get a remedy to this. How Milwaukee seniors can get a free AC unit as heat advisory continues. Milwaukee is under a heat advisory, and this one appears courtesy of Gideon Verdeen via TMJ4.com. According to Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, heat waves lead to about 9 extra deaths per heat wave per 10,000 older adults each year. That reality is driving local organizations to act. ERAS, E-R-A-S, Seniors Network, is distributing about, that's not enough. Only 50 air conditioning units to seniors in need living in the Harambe neighborhood and surrounding areas. Frida Wright, program manager for ERA's Senior Network, said the effort grew out of a clear gap in resources. Quote, the need started when we noticed underserved seniors needed air conditioning. Fred Collier, who I went to high school with, president of Collier's Training Institute, shout out to Fred with his own training institute, works alongside ERAS to install the units at no cost to the recipients. Quote, the pain that they have and the quality of life that they're living in our communities, it's not so good. So to be a part of this is a heartfelt situation. Seniors interested in the program can contact Frida Wright. I'm going to give her phone number 3 times. Frida Wright, F-R-E-D-A, Frida. Or it could be Freda, but probably Frida. Fred and Freda. Are you ready for the phone number? Go get a pencil. Because it always takes time to go get a pencil. Do you want me to play some music while you go get a pencil? I need to go get something to write with now. Because nobody ever has anything to write with. Here, you want me? I'll play some music in the meantime. Let me know when y'all got a pencil. All right, you got a pencil? All right, turn the music down. You ready for the phone number? I need to know if you're ready for. I'm going to give you the phone number so you can call Frida. 414-488-6927. That's one time. 414-488-6927. That's two times. You ready for the third time or you need some more music? Somebody still ain't get a pen yet. Yeah, I'll play a little music. Okay. Third time. 414-488-6927. You tell them old Sherwin sent you. You're a senior citizen or you know a senior citizen. You want to know how they can get an air conditioning unit and Fred will come and install it for you. Tell them that Sherwin went to high school with Fred. We probably should start a fund so we can buy more air conditioners for people that need them. I know there used to be funds to buy people box fans. Box fans make it worse. Oh, my God, it's so awful. You ever go to somebody's house and they don't have AC? Don't invite me. Thank you for being hospitable and wanting me to come over and hang out with you. But if you don't have air conditioning and it's going to be a heat index of 105 degrees, why are we hanging out at your house? All we're going to do is fight. I'm just going to open up your refrigerator and just stick my head in it. There better be food in your refrigerator. You ever go to somebody's house and the first thing you do is you go in the refrigerator and you're even more disappointed by their lack of food than your own. I'm thinking to myself, the only reason why I'm here is because I'm hoping you got food in the refrigerator. But you know who always has food in the refrigerator? Women with kids. I know single mothers get a bad rap. Let me tell you something. Fruit, snacks. Sherwin.
Juice boxes?
Oh, not the juice box. And don't let it be a Capri Sun. Listen to me. I'm 51 years old. There is no time in my life when I will not love on a Capri Sun. Not only will I take a Capri Sun, so I'm going to drink one while I'm just standing in the refrigerator, because you got to drink and eat something while you're looking for other things to drink and eat. You understand? You know how that goes? You open the refrigerator, you got to quick grab something, because that helps you think. So I'll grab a Capri Sun. Fruit juicy. And then you got to look around the refrigerator, and then in the meantime, because you already drank that Capri Sun, now you got to grab another one.
You got to go to the pantry. Chips.
I'm talking about all the Chef Boyardee. I'm talking about all the single mother food.
Cookies.
I'm talking about all them SNAP benefits. Like somebody got extra SNAP. You can tell when the SNAP came. Like, go ahead, EBT. Sherwin, did you eat up all my baby's fruit snacks? Yes. Well, you need to make it up to me. You ate up all my baby fruit snacks. How you want me to make it up to you? I got something for you to eat. What? I'll make you a grilled cheese. That's what I meant, Sherwin. Why are you so nasty? Alan, you're on 101.7 The Truth. Ready for you to talk about something that's unrelated?
No, I'm going to talk about what's related. I'm listening to you. Honest to God, I mean, I tell you this, and I'm not being facetious at all. You are by far the best thing on the radio. Why do you think I followed you for X number of years? Always finding you when you're gone, and it's always by chance. But the thing about the air conditioning, what we do, we help people out, and my wife and I, we do. If there's somebody who really needs help, I'll help them. Right. The Chef Boyardee is what we give to the food kitchens. We buy that stuff in bulk, cases of it, and then drop it off at a couple food things that we do. Then what else was I going to tell you? Oh, helping the neighbors. That's all we're all about, man. That's what my whole. It took my wife a while to understand why I like to help people, but God blesses you, right? And maybe it's just you shovel the ladies' walk. Maybe it's just that you help pick up some garbage or something that's in her yard. But the thing is, we give back. We give what we get, right? And what you're doing is fantastic, I think. Sometimes I'd like to talk to you off the air about helping you guys out with with some of that stuff you do. I'm sure that the guys who sponsor you do, but maybe we could get in on that.
Get in on what?
Get in on helping fund some of the stuff you're doing. We got anyway. There's people there's things that I know that we have where we help people. So I'll leave it at that. But the other thing is here, you won't believe what's going on with these developers, man. All the workers disappeared. Where do you think they went, Sherwin? They haven't been here for about a week.
They're on vacation, Alan. They also got sick of you.
They might have got sick of me, but they went. I think they disappeared for a while. But outside of that, they got a couple of tickets. These developers been getting tickets now for not keeping their property up. So slowly but surely, we're building a case on them. And I know that this other group, Team Management, I've been doing some research and gone around knocking on doors around the city. They're not really a great management company. They don't do a lot of good. If you have anybody who has any stories, you should have them get a hold of me.
No, Alan, no. You're literally the only person that has the gripes with the developers. This is what we call a hyper-local issue.
No, I'm not.
And I know, but Alan, hold on.
No,
in the
I'm
grand scheme, I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to a whole bunch of people from all over the place. And in the grand scheme of things of what is happening in this community, the development that you don't like that's going on in your community impacts the people in your geographic area. Please don't tell us about racism, Alan. Please don't do that. Thank you so much for offering. Please, no, okay, now I got to hang up on him. See how we started off so nice. He's like, oh, Sherwin, you're the best thing on the radio. Just know this, Alan, and everybody else. The best thing that's on the radio, me, will still hang up on you. That's just how I got to do business. Because, oh, Lord, I'm not going to. You need to relax.
Didn't he vote for Trump?
Yes, he's a Trumper.
What's he talking about racism?
I don't, because he's married to a black woman, and sometimes white people, they dismiss when black people talk about racism because they don't see it until they marry or have a child with somebody black. Then they're like, oh, my God, racism is actually real. Idiot, you should have listened to us in the first place. I get it, but Alan is just, he's an ornery man who he looks out his windows like, oh, not in my backyard. Oh, damn it, kids, get off my lawn. Oh, I don't like what I said. That's not everybody's problem. If whatever is happening with development in his little neighborhood was, so here's a better example. The development at Midtown is impacting a lot of people, right? Whatever development that's going on in his neighborhood he doesn't like only impacts him, because if it impacted a lot of people, they would tell us about it. There'd be news stories written about it. Somebody would cover it. Somebody would be there protesting. It would be an event. It would, you know what I'm saying? It would rise to the level of broader community attention. But he just, you know what happened? Is he probably went over there because I think they're redoing the school, or I don't know what it is. And Alan said something slick to him. You know, so when somebody says something slick to Alan, of course, he doesn't like it. And he said something slick to them. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down the city hall. He even tried to recall an alder person. You guys remember that? And I said, Alan, your recall is going to fail. No, it's not. I'm going to get all the signatures, because when I talk to my neighbors, they're going to sign the paper. The recall failed. I told him not to even start it. Okay. Let's get back on our square here. I'm going to take a break, come back. Oh, somebody said, who said it? Curly, did you say it? That when I play music, the people on YouTube can't hear it? That's not true. Or was I just playing the music too soft? Unless YouTube is...
You're probably playing it too soft.
Hold on.
I'm about to go back and look, but that sounds impossible.
Hold on. We're going to figure this out now, unless YouTube is blocking me. What is this song here? All right, let me know if y'all can hear this on YouTube. Can you hear that? I'll turn it up. I got a volume knob. I'll turn it up real loud. So could YouTube people hear that? Oh, you're going to play it back on your YouTube.
There's a little delay.
Okay, yeah, there's a big delay.
It is playing loud and clear.
Okay, there you go.
Look.
All right. Unless we have a special YouTube. We don't have our YouTube is the same as everybody else's YouTubes.
Well, this is my personal YouTube that I'm playing it from, so.
Oh, because your personal YouTube, you probably have the premiums where you don't have the commercials. It's so worth it.
It's best money I spend every month.
So there's even a premium light where it's $8.99 a month where you only get ads sometimes. I know that when I'm talking and people that have the free YouTube, like I'll be talking and like I'll take a phone call and then boom, YouTube will send this show to a commercial. It's if you spend a lot of time on YouTube, I watch more videos on YouTube than I do. I watch YouTube more than anything else because anything I want to see is available on YouTube. And it's worth it for me to pay the $9 a month. Actually, I'm in my 30-day free trial. So right now I'm paying nothing dollars per month. But it's worth it to get the YouTube premium if you don't want your listening or viewing experience to be interrupted by ads that don't even make any sense. Like my YouTube ads aren't even tailored toward me. Do you ever get that not so fresh feeling? Massengill douches. So you can feel fresh all day long. And why am I seeing a Massengill douche?
You're not going to go back, trust me.
I'm going to take a break now. Got some stuff I want to talk to you about. The 200th anniversary of Thomas Jefferson's death and the original draft version of the Declaration of Independence, which excoriates slavery, but that didn't make it into the original document because far too many people were making money off of the slave trade. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Stop calling free to write. Apparently, there's no more air conditioners left because of the overwhelming demand. And I'm glad that they were able to give out the air conditioners that they did, but You can't just have 50 air conditioning units and then have a news story about it because thousands of people are going to respond. Now, here's the problem. So I said it on my show. I gave the woman's number out 3 times, probably a mistake. Somebody's going to be listening to my program tomorrow. So they're out of air conditioners now. But then someone's going to replay this program on Sunday, and they're going to blow up Frida. Sorry, Frida. I would call you myself to apologize, but that's just going to be another telephone call that you don't need right now. So apparently Linda called the number, and they said that they're no longer accepting applications. We could buy some air conditioners for the scene. How much air conditioner cost? Let me see how much it costs. Let me see. Where you get it from? Walmart? No, we don't like Walmart. Or do we like Walmart? How do we feel about Walmart?
I don't like the family that runs it, so no.
Okay. Window air conditioner.
Go to Pick and Save.
You can't get no damn.
Yeah, you can.
At Pick and Save?
A
You
fan?
can buy a window air. No, you can't.
A fan?
No, air conditioner. Fans
Oh,
don't
yeah,
do
no,
nothing
no,
but
I'm
make
sorry, I'm
domestic
sorry.
violence. They're not. Oh, that was expensive. So they range between $133. Oh, it's on Temu. A Temu air conditioner is probably a small Asian man inside the unit. It's going, you're cool now. Temu's got them cheap, $133.56. Walmart has 6,000 BTU air conditioners for $139. A 12,000 BTU is $550. But that joker is big. That'll cool a whole house right there. You don't need nothing that big. Frigidaire makes one for $310. Let me see. Oh, you got the portable ones now. You know the portable ones? They're on wheels. You ever seen them before? Portable air conditioner. It's a stand-up room cooler, they call it.
I got one.
It's $169.99. That ain't bad.
It's really good. If it's the one,
It gets cold too, don't it?
Oh, it gets cold.
If you put it in your bedroom, you got to
fast.
put the blankets on.
No, fast. It warms. I mean, it cools up my whole apartment, and I have a pretty big apartment.
Well, there you go. X, why don't you donate your air conditioner to a hot person?
Because I'm gonna be hot. You know how hot it was yesterday?
I mean, I don't know. It was freezing in my house.
Oh well, I mean, it was hot outside.
Okay. Yes, it was. I don't like being outside in the heat, and also for the people that that love this weather. What's wrong with you? What was your childhood like? I love it when it's this hot. What's wrong with you? You're a lizard. You're not a normal human being. This weather it kills people. It's extreme temperatures. I just don't understand because nobody says, "Oh, I love it when it's really super cold." Super cold temperatures are just as deadly as super hot temperatures, but I can't understand you hot weather people. Oh, I love it when it's this hot. What can you even do besides sweat? I don't like sweat because your body makes water and it gets your clothes and some people, their armpits are sweat. And ladies, if you're chesty, you ever see a woman with boob sweat? I'm like, oh, you filthy heifer.
Oh, you think that's nasty?
Oh, it's so gross. Oh, sweaty breasts.
Yeah, just pour the liquid into a cup and drink.
Hey, what's wrong with you? See, that's why we call you Big Freaky.
I just like to play with you guys.
Oh, you know what they did? So I had automatic parking here where I used my little key card.
Oh, yeah, I heard.
Dog, they turned our parking off yesterday.
Yeah.
Dude. They let me. So yesterday morning, I used my little key card. I put it up to the scanner, beep, and the barrier went up. Everything was normal. I parked my vehicle. Well, you also need to scan that same key card to get out of the 3rd Street Market Hall and to enter the parking structure. So they don't even let you enter the parking structure unless you have a key card to scan. What scans you in has got to scan you out, basically. And so I put my thing up to the scanner. It said access denied because sometimes it'd be tripping. Sometimes the internet doesn't connect and our scanners don't work. So I pushed the call button, and then he was like, oh, what floor are you on? I was like, 3rd floor. He opened the door for me. So I'm like, okay, it was just a little glitch in the matrix. Man, I get down to where you exit the parking structure, and I did the same thing, put my key card up to the scanner. Access denied. I'm like, oh, that's just tripping today. I pushed the call for help button. I was like, hey, I'm scanning my card. It's not letting me out. Because that happens like maybe once a month. The internet of the parking scanner doesn't connect, and then they just open it for you. She was like, what's your card number? I gave her the card number. She's like, no, they didn't pay. Somebody didn't pay. Like, your access is denied. So here I am, because here's the thing. I don't have a receipt. So when you go into the parking structure, you have to push a button to get a receipt, and then you use that receipt to pay with your credit card. Because I didn't have a receipt, I'm thinking, because she wasn't opening the thing. She was like, oh, yeah, your access is denied. I'm like, so I'm just going to sit here forever then? And then she just went silent. And I just sat there, and I rolled my window up because I'm just going to sit here. What am I going to do? And then eventually she lifted up the barrier. So now I had to take a ticket like a sucker.
You're like me.
So how do I get out with this? Because I'm not paying to park here.
Oh, all you do is just grab the little sticker when you leave the thing, and you're good to go. You just
What sticker?
I'll show you. It's a binder in here. You put the sticker on the back of it.
Okay.
And you get out for free.
Right here it says place validation sticker here.
So it's for free.
But yeah, what if I want to come here like at night though, or on the weekends? I gotta pay like a sucker.
Well, you just come into this thing and you take your little sticker and you leave out.
So we have an unlimited amount of stickers, so I can come here 37 times in a week? Because I used to come here to get coffee.
I mean, I wouldn't go that crazy, but
we're saying it on the air, so you're probably gonna get us busted.
Yeah.
So there's stickers. I gotta remember to get the sticker because I'll totally forget. Because when I'm done with my show, I'll beeline out of here.
Yeah, no, this is probably revenge for Saturday.
What happened Saturday?
Oh, there's a little event that happened that you're supposed to be sitting at the table with certain people.
Oh, Kyle's wedding?
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't go to that. No, I couldn't go.
Oh, you were just sick?
No, I couldn't. No, I know I wasn't sick. I was healthy as a horse. I just couldn't go.
Oh.
What you want me to do? If I can't do something, I can't do something.
Oh, you just didn't want to talk to certain people?
I couldn't go. So let me tell you y'all got to stop doing this. If I'm not somewhere, if I don't go somewhere, and maybe you thought I was going to be there, I'm serious with this, and I want you all to know this and understand this and replay this 1,000 times. In fact, maybe we should make this an Instagram reel or a YouTube short. If you go somewhere and you think or thought I was going to be there and I'm not there, don't call me and ask me why I'm not there. My absence is the answer. Oh, Sherwin's not here. Okay. Let's call Sherwin to see why he's not here. I don't explain myself to myself sometimes. Why would I explain myself to you? Because then you're forcing me to lie. Oh, let's call Sherwin. He's not here.
Yeah, every day you kind of remind me more and more of Larry David. I even witnessed one of your Larry David moments.
An old balding Jew? That's offensive.
I think he's the funniest guy alive. So I think that's a high regard for me. But I saw your little, when we went to that community meeting, your interaction with the lady signing in.
I want to fight her.
Yeah, that was amazing. I got that on camera too.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. I was recording all of it. You saw me recording.
So that lady was the alderman's legislative assistant, and she didn't know who I was because I'm not telling you who I am. Because there's a whole line of people. So at the last in-person Walmart Midtown Research Center meeting, they had a sign-in table because they wanted the names of people that attended the meeting. And the line was long. I'm like, I'm not waiting in line because I'm not signing in. Why would I sign in? Screw you. Leave me alone. And so I'm walking past the line. Excuse me, sir. I'm going to need you to sign in. I'm like, yo, do I have to sign in? Yes. And I pushed back on her. I was like, so wait a minute. If I don't sign in, you're not going to let me in the meeting? She's like, that's right. I was like, ma'am, I was going to put a fake name anyway. And then she just gave me the stink eye, and I just walked in, and she was like angry at me. But then she saw that I knew the alderman, and she was like, "Oh, Sherwin, I didn't know it was you. Have some respect, sign in, lady." She took her job serious. But you know what they wanted to do? They wanted to try and capture the information of the protesters. And people, I'm never giving my real name. Do you understand if I put Sherwin Hughes on something? Because it's not like I have a common name. If my name was John Smith, I'll sign in everywhere because there's 10,000 John Smiths. If you see Sherwin Hughes, it literally is me. So no, I don't even give my real name at Panera. You know at restaurants where they call your name out when your order's right? I make up the most stereotypical, hard to pronounce black names, and it's so funny. Because the people, I almost feel bad for them because they don't want to butcher anybody's name. Like, order for Deoctavia Dontre, Deoctavius, Demetrius. Because sometimes I forget the name that I gave up. Like, who is this N-word? What mother names their person Octavius Demontre? Who is? I'm like, oh, that's me. Hi, I'm here. I'm him. Sorry about that. Here you go, Octavius Demontre. Enjoy your latte. It's so funny. I've been doing that for years, giving fake names. But now when you go to Panera, because I use a little kiosk, and then they get my name from my credit card, and they just put my name up on the little screen. So, all right, I'm taking a break now. 10:30. We're doing okay. Got some stuff to talk about still. Thomas Jefferson and Declaration of Independence and slavery and general black people stuff. What's your favorite black thing to do? Mine clearly is watermelon, or just be free to be who I am all of the time. But yeah, mostly watermelon. Like I don't care about stereotypes. There's some, I think it was LT, he said he won't even eat a banana in front of a white person because he doesn't want them to think that, oh, you're a black monkey gorilla. I'm like, are you insane? How delicious a perfectly ripened banana is with just a little bit of brown speckling. Not a lot. A little bit of brown speckling. I can't eat an unripe banana. If you give me an unripe banana, I'm just going to be kind and hand it back to you. A banana is a sweet treat, and it's full of potassiums. You got to get your potassium. He's like, oh, I'll never let a white person see me eat a banana. I will sit on a white person's lap wearing a gorilla suit and eat a banana. Care what them people think. What's your favorite black thing to do? Tell us in the YouTube chat. Be proud to be black. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flysshf.org and ask for an application.
Are you looking for a place to shop that offers a fair market price? Or how about a place that is clean with a friendly atmosphere, has been recently remodeled? You need to visit Century Food Store on 92nd and Lisbon Avenue. They offer a wide variety of grocery items, meats, and fresh vegetables at a fair market price. And don't forget the hot food section, which offers soul food, Indian, and Mexican foods. So what you waiting for? You can also order groceries through DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Instacart, or stop by Century Foods at 92nd and Lisbon Avenue today.
Freedom has a history. Come experience it. Visit the Milton House Museum, Wisconsin's only certified Underground Railroad site open to the public. Tour the historic 1844 Inn, step down into the cellar, and walk through the underground tunnel in the footsteps of freedom seekers who risked everything on their journey to liberty. Hear powerful stories of courage, sacrifice, hope, and determination, and discover Wisconsin's connection to the Underground Railroad and the fight for freedom. Guided tours of the Milton House are available Tuesday through Sunday through Labor Day weekend. Learn more at miltonhouse.org.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back to the program. I think it was Aaron waiting to hear the Thomas Jefferson story. I'm going to get to it, man. Right now you're listening to the foreplay portion of the radio show. I got to get you warmed up and ready. We got to talk about other things. We got to make a little small talk, have a little banter back and forth. I got to get you in the mood now. I got to get you ready. I don't want to rush into it. You don't want to do that because here's the thing. Once we get to the story only going to be 2 minutes. So we got to just take our time getting to the story because when I give it to you, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you real good. It'll be over before you know it. So savor all that comes before the story. The institution of slavery had existed in the colonies in one form or another, and again, not in all colonies, for about 154 years prior to the signing of that declaration. I just want to give people a context. And even the framers didn't have the power nor the ability. They could have had the desire, they could have had the moral sentiment to realize that the slave trade was wrong and it was brutal and it was a crime against God and his people. But an institution that has been in existence for, at that time, like 5 generations is very, very difficult to just eradicate because there were entire sections of the U.S. economy and the international economy that was built off of the slave trade. And if I talk about slavery as an objective economic modality and I take out the subjective and the pain and the torture and the destroying of families, these are separate things. Now, we can look at them and study them both, but they do exist in separate spheres. You'd have to be willing to collapse a global economy in order to free people, which in the grand scheme of things is exactly what they should have done. But then you have to worry about the economic exploitation of people that are now free, because it's not like we would have had rights. It's not like we would have been seen as citizens and we would have been treated fairly. Jim Crow would have started in 1776, and it may have persisted even into modern day times. So ending the institution was a desire of many, and so there is a kind of genius science to the creation of the Constitution, which I am a student of, and one of the highest honors and privileges of my professional life. Obviously, getting to talk to you all every single day is one of the highest for sure, but the other was being an employee of and serving at the pleasure of the 107th U.S. Continental Congress. There was no other honor that I can even describe that even comes close because, yes, I worked in the office of then Congressman Tom Barrett, but I served at the pleasure of the people in the Republic, and it was an incredible honor. And to walk through the Rayburn office building and to walk on Capitol Hill to see the halls of power of the United States as a black boy in his 20s was something that I will keep with me for the rest of my life, and also provided me a kind of motivation to do my level best to inform people about how this system works, because we see what happens when people do not know how this system works. They can take it from you and you won't even notice. All you'll notice, more crime, more homicide, more poverty, more illiteracy. That is what happens when you don't know and understand the system, and they begin to take it and unravel it right underneath your feet. And so I have been personally motivated by what I saw working on Capitol Hill and the lack of information, because we just expect the system to work. When you start your car, you just expect it to start. You don't look at the spark plugs and the exhaust manifold and the transmission and the catalytic converter. Well, maybe you look at that because it probably got stolen. You don't look at all the different parts and all the different bits and pieces of the ignition system and the fuel system and the electrical system. You just want it to work. And when it doesn't work, you're like, oh, drats. Dag nabbit. I want people to know how their car works, how this democracy works, how it is, in fact, a vehicle. And so one of the things about the Constitution, which I think too many black people, we just hate it. We just hate everything about the government because we just think everything is unfair for us. Yes, but use a system like they do. Everybody's manipulating everybody in America, and that's the unfortunate thing. And that's why some people don't like capitalism. People that don't like capitalism just aren't good at it. Like people that don't like basketball probably suck at basketball, right? It's not basketball's fault you suck. You're just not good at basketball. So it's easy to hate something that you don't understand. But they said, look, they knew that the slavery institution was bad. They're like, yeah, this really sucks. And in the future, they're really going to hate it. Let's create a document where the whole country can be changed. Probably one of the bigger, little known and little discussed travesties in American democracy. And just there's a lot of resistance to change. I see that at Midtown. I think people are used to Midtown being an illegal dumping site to where if something comes in, it must be suspicious. We're okay with it being vacant because we're used to that. It's like somebody being used to a messy house. After a while, your house isn't even messy anymore. Next thing you know, you got people coming in from the Discovery Channel saying you're a hoarder. Don't get used to poor conditions because you'll be stuck there forever and you'll have that mindset until the day you die. We don't want you to have that mindset. But one of the biggest travesties is women's suffrage. So 1776, women couldn't vote for 150 years. Tell me that's not insane. Women, they make babies that turn into men sometimes. Sometimes they turn into other women. Black men, you got to put this in a context now. Who do we hate more? Black men or women of any race? Black men had the right to vote effectively in 1866 and started running for office and winning everywhere in a year. Women, in particular, white women who watched their husbands fall in love with and rape slave women and slave girls. Just watch their husbands just propagate with the whole plantation. And white women they sat there and they took it and they participated. They played their role. They made sure that the children were brought up in the same racist paradigm. White women, they paid a heavy price. I don't feel sorry for them because they're just as much an instrument of the institution as the men were. But they're like, wait a minute. And the white men were like, yeah, we're going to let the former slaves. Could you imagine being a slave last week and now you're going to vote? And white women are like, hey, excuse us. And the white men were like, shut up. For 150 years. And they had to change the U.S. Constitution to allow women to vote. I don't think there was a constitutional amendment to let black men vote. They're just like, oh, they're free now. They can vote because they're men. Let them go vote. There's no, if I'm not mistaken, of the Reconstruction Amendments 13, 14, and 15, I don't think there's anything. The right to vote, voting didn't come into the Constitution until they made the voting age 18. And that was like in the 90s, 70s when they make that. They had to change the Constitution to allow women to vote. Like, that's insane to me. Like, black men. And then you got to wonder, think about it. A black man became president before a woman. Maybe it's patriarchal. Probably. But race then gets put in a different context because white women suffered lack of political participation because of the system for longer than black men did. Now, in the South, of course, you had Jim Crow, but that's regional, though. If you were black in 1941, you came to Wisconsin, you could vote in every single election. If you were black in Talcott County, Mississippi in 1941, they tried to kill you. So if you could, just leave Talcott County, Mississippi if you really wanted to vote. Just go to Illinois. But the oppression of women, it took an act of the Constitution. And so the framers, they said, look, the country's kind of screwed up. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's not right because we're still putting this damn thing together. We don't know if the states are going to be united or if they're going to be their own independent countries. Let's create a system where they can create a new country by reforming this document. There's only been 27 amendments, which is not really enough. But think about how much the country has changed because of those 27 amendments. So they created a document that was elastic, plastic, fluid, and flexible to account for the changing times and the changing narratives that a nation will go through when it's growing and expanding. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. This is my, 4th of July edition. I'm not here tomorrow or Friday. Xavier is going to turn the show into a communism haven. Kidding. No, he's not. He's going to play a replay of me. Oh, we got to hear about we'll do it when we come back, Xavier.
What?
What's the blackest thing that you do?
Oh,
don't tell us yet.
I thought you said your favorite black activity.
Right, your favorite black activity.
Oh, yeah.
Don't tell us yet. You're going to tell us on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
All right, Xavier, what's your favorite blacktivity?
Well, I did some thinking over the break and I did some minor editing, but my favorite activity is, I call it doing it for the ancestors.
Oh.
Yes, and you take a suburban, all-American white girl and you turn her into a mud shark.
I would say I can't believe you said that, but no, I believe you said it. So
Yes.
Can you give? I know what a mud shark is, and there are many swimming amongst us.
Yes.
If someone is unfamiliar with that term, it's very derogatory. It's not nice.
Yes.
If somebody calls you a mud shark, they're not being kind to you. Give the definition of a mud shark for those who might be curious.
A mud shark. Well, it is a very derogatory term. That's why I did some editing. I was going to say N-word lover, but
oh, you can't.
That's even
that.
yes. See. But it's the 4th of July, and it's coming up, and so the definition of that term, the mud shark, is a white woman that loves black men.
Like exclusively.
Exclusively.
Yeah, she doesn't date anything else.
Yes, I've done it a couple times.
So you've taken a woman who maybe had never been involved with, never had been interested in, never had dated a black African American fellow before, and you turned her out to where now she craves it. She's got to have that.
Yes.
It's diabolical what you did.
Multiple times. And that's why they call it doing it for the ancestors, Emmett Till and stuff like that.
All right, that's pretty black. And with me, it's just eating watermelon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't take it to the level.
I'm more diabolical.
Yeah. The whole interracial dating thing is one that is of great fascination. I think a lot of people do it. Those that don't, it's because they can't. I don't think there's any moral or righteous obligation to just stick within your own. That's not how like the human species is supposed to evolve, but it is what it is. No one hates it more. And I think there's a stereotype that black women get really bent out of shape when black men date white women. I mean, a few do, but for the most part, I really don't think that they care. I'm going to tell you why. Because most black women will date a white man and will justify doing, he's paying my bills, he's doing this for me. And we as black men, we don't care. We hardly made an issue as black men that Kamala Harris was married to Doug Emhoff because we literally didn't care. Because here's how we see it. If she is involved with him and married him, she wouldn't want us no way. And so we don't get bent out of shape about the women that choose something different. That's totally fine. White men hate it more than anybody. They hate it. It has been like the coal that fuels the fire of their rage. It is why we were lynched and murdered and tortured and beaten. It is why there is prohibition on certain things. They tried to extinguish anything they could in the United States of America that led, whether it was true or not, black men and white women to copulate, to fornicate, and to be together. But in the broader view, if you go 10,000 feet, look at who created and curated, very artfully and very uniquely and elegantly, who created the system that oppresses black men. Okay, I'll let you think about that. Think about who that person is. Think about that prototype. Now think about the same prototype that also oppresses white women. It's the same white men. And then the white ladies were like, we're a little oppressed too, even though we can act as the oppressor. And the black guys are like, psh, tell me about it. And then the white women are like, you want to see if our parts fit together? And the black dude is like, I mean, it probably won't, but we can give it a shot. She was like, all right, I'm game. And then next thing you know,
And white guys really hate it when you're with an attractive white woman.
Totally. That's
10 times worse.
If it's one that they don't want, then they're like, oh, thank you for taking her away from us. But also, the kind I'm talking about, and I'm not trying to be mean, but the stereotypical kind, like, you can sometimes look at white women, you can just tell.
Well, not those kind. I'm talking about all-American suburban.
I grew up in an all-American suburb. I know firsthand.
I'm from Brookfield. went to school in Brookfield.
But the ones that are stereotypical, like you look at them, you're just like, ugh. Those are the arrogant ones. Like they just know that all the black men want them. I'm like, no, honey, you were just an easy get because you have low self-esteem. But they get arrogant. Like, well, all the black men want me. Sherwin, I know you want this. No, I don't, Bertha. Okay, I'm going to take a break now. We're going to read the Thomas Jefferson original version of the Declaration of Independence, which excoriated the slave trade, even though the man was powerless to end it. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades K-3 through 8. Spaces are limited. Apply today. Give your child a school where they'll thrive. Visit mkeprep.com or call today. Milwaukee College Prep, brilliance lives here.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. Improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to health care and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Milwaukee Black Talk on 101.7 FM.
The Truth.
And 1510 AM. W269DL. Milwaukee. A Milwaukee Black media company.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. This is my 4th of July episode edition. America's turning 250 years old. Donald Trump is having the Great American World's Fair or something. Nobody's going to it because Trump is gross. And it's hot in Washington, D.C. Congress isn't even in session most of the summer just because it's too hot. We asked you a question relating to the heat via YouTube with our daily YouTube poll. Do you have air conditioning in your primary residence? Now, we have some information that appeared in one of our local journalistic publications, and it says a full 10% of Milwaukee County residents do not have air conditioning. You know, when it's very hot, you got to be very careful because the heat will make you crazy. And it's also very dangerous, especially for the seniors. We also discussed a program that has since closed because of the very high demand, where seniors could be eligible for a free window air conditioning unit, and then it would be installed by Fred Collier, who has an organization, the Collier's Training Institute. I'd imagine he's some kind of a contractor. Shout out to Fred. I went to high school with Fred, but that program has since closed. They only had 50 units to give away, and that's kind of a small number, especially when it's being covered by TMJ4.com, which is one of our television stations and also a news website. So they only had 50 units. Not imagine they probably were gone right away. So do not call Frida anymore. Frida is the person that was signing people up for the program, but I'm figuring we could probably do a collection for folks because window air conditioners are not that expensive. And I also know that you all have a lot of money. The people that listen to this program, you guys are loaded because I've seen how much y'all drink. when we had Beyond the Mics, these are events that I would do at different, restaurants and lounges around the city that were black owned. At one particular establishment, you all spent so much money that every time I went to that establishment for the next calendar year, I didn't pay for anything. They're like, "Oh, Sherwin, your tab here is good for at least the next 12 months because your people drink." Bob even had a beer. Did you guys witness Bob when Bob had 1.5 beers and he was so drunk he was slamming his bottle on the table and we had to cut Bob off? Bob drank one Miller Genuine Draft and got halfway through another one and we had to take the bottle away from him because Bob was getting ready to kill somebody. Bob was toasted up. Bob said he hadn't had a drink in like 20-some years and decided to drink that night. Terrible idea. And then he drove home. And when he left, because we didn't know, we were going to make sure he was going to get home, we turned around, we looked, Bob was gone. And I just basically resigned to the fact that, well, it was nice knowing him. We're never going to see him again. There's no way he's going to make it. He's slamming his bottle on the table at Mr. B's. All right. Oh, that was a different time when he went pee on the side of the gas station. Oh, no, he did. Didn't he? He did say he had to use the bathroom. Bob will whip out his little tallywhacker anywhere he goes. But I think because he's an older black man and people are usually very sympathetic to him, especially some of you all. Like, y'all don't understand how Bob be messing with me. Like, he attacks me. Bob bullies me. And so when I fire back at him, y'all always say, "Oh, Sherwin, you're so mean to Bob." Screw Bob. Screw him. Bob runs his mouth. Listen, I don't care. Y'all think it's sweet just because I'm on this little radio or whatever. I'm still a real one. Don't think it's sweet. Sometimes I be thinking it's sweet because, I can say whatever I want to Sherwin. No, the hell you can't. Thomas Jefferson's early draft of the Declaration of Independence included a notable paragraph attacking King George III for allowing the transatlantic slave trade to continue. So they called this Jefferson's grievance. And it wasn't just the fact that we were being taxed and there was no representation and the king was very oppressive to the colonies and we had to be loyal subjects to the colonies. Thomas Jefferson had a grievance that was bigger than having to be subjects of a foreign king to which Americans wanted no alliance nor allegiance. And it was slavery. And so the Declaration of Independence in its original form, in its original draft, included this major grievance, which is sticking America with the transatlantic slave trade. And some of you may think, well, they could have just ended slavery. Think about something that's been durable in the United States for the last 150 years. And if it ended tomorrow, the entire country would collapse. Imagine if the United States said, we're not going to make cars anymore. We're just not going to produce Fords, GMs, and Chrysler. Think about all the people that would be unemployed. Think about the entire industry that would collapse. Think about the cities that would immediately be thrust into poverty. And while we will look at slavery in a very romanticized way, saying, well, good, we should have collapsed the global economy because an economy that's built on the backs of slaves is an economy that should not exist. We still have the same damn thing now because I would argue paying somebody $7.25 an hour is a worse kind of slavery because it's happening in a free society. So there was this burden that our economy was based on this immoral, inhumane crime against humanity and against God. That was the grievance that Thomas Jefferson had when he wrote the Declaration of Independence. But too many people in both the North and the South made their fortunes off of slavery. And so his original version of the Declaration of Independence, which I'm about to read, and also it should be noted that July 4th is the 200th anniversary of Thomas Jefferson's death. How interesting and ironic it is that he died on the 4th of July of 1826. Thomas Jefferson's original draft of the Declaration of Independence included a notable paragraph attacking King George III for allowing the transatlantic slave trade to continue during the Continental Congress's revision process to Jefferson's original declaration. They removed the bulk of the paragraph and reduced it to a veiled reference against slavery, complaining that King George incited, quote, domestic insurrections among us. Later, Jefferson claimed that some delegates from northern and southern colonies had objected to his original version of the Declaration of Independence, which excoriated slavery and prompted it to be removed. I have in front of me the draft of the original paragraph that Thomas Jefferson wrote, and the emphasis is original. So here's what he did. I'm going to read in a second. I'm going to talk to JD, and then I'm going to read this paragraph that, in my opinion, changes the course of history. Had this paragraph been in the Declaration of Independence, maybe the civil rights movement would have started sooner. It might have started in 1854 instead of 1954, but it was removed. And it was one of the largest grievances as to why the colonies wanted to form their own nation separate and apart from England. And it gives you a different perspective, but also shows how incredibly complicated the situation was in America. First, let's talk to JD. JD, you're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm good. I had a poem for you.
Oh, let's do it.
It's called The 4th of July. It's the 4th of July and black men still die very violent deaths. A free slave, I guess. Independent of what or who, colonized by Jimmy Choo. Money sucked out of your community, no solidarity or black unity. We never been independent. Our dollars are upended. We don't control our blocks. They give us boy, it used to be rocks. They sell everything to blacks, hair, rims, AIDS, and $500 slacks. We buy everything except knowledge, and those who go leave after college. True independence requires a new mind, not buying diamonds but owning the mine. Making deals with sisters in Uganda, trade networks with brothers in Botswana, changing favelas and reservations into economic stations. But they don't want Milwaukee with Mozambique. Independence from whiteness would be their defeat. Y'all don't stay safe this weekend because safes can get cracked. I want everybody to be careful and do what they need to do. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you for that, JD. I said don't stay safe. Because safe can get cracked. Oh, I guess that's poetic too. Don't stay safe because a safe can get cracked. A lot of double entendre there. All right. So in his original version of the Declaration of Independence, he uses, so you got to keep in mind, things that were considered extreme back then are not the same as what is considered extreme now. When he was trying to make a sarcastic point, he would print. Because everybody used cursive back then. I don't know if you know that. Print was rare. They used cursive. Everything is written in cursive. The Constitution written in cursive. The Declaration of Independence written in cursive. They all signed their names. They all use cursive. If they used print, then they're using a particular kind of satirical emphasis. And there are certain parts of his original version of the Declaration of Independence where he used print and capital letters. So using capital letters and print back then is like you are beyond livid. I'm going to show them how angry I am by using print and capital letters. Capital letters? Are you ready? Here we go. It starts with, he has waged cruel war against human nature itself, violating its most sacred rights of life and liberty in the persons of a distant people who never offended him, captivating and carrying them into slavery in another hemisphere, or to incur miserable death in their transportation thither. This piratical warfare, the opprobrium of infidel powers, is the warfare of the, all capital letters and printed, Christian king. He's calling him out for saying that you're supporting and protecting and encouraging slavery and then calling yourself a Christian. Christian king of Great Britain, determined to keep open a market where men, capital letters and printed, should be bought and sold. He has prostituted his negative for suppressing every legislative attempt to prohibit or restrain this exorable commerce, and that the assemblage of horrors might want no fact of the distinguished die, is now exciting those very people to rise in arms among us and to purchase that liberty of which he has deprived them, and murdering the people upon whom He has also obtruded them, thus paying off former crimes committed against the liberties of one people with crimes which he urges them to commit against the lives of another. That is likely one of the most eloquent and direct rebukes of slavery, not just by calling out the king, but naming him specifically, and also mocking the fact that you cannot be Christian and be involved in the transatlantic slave trade. But you have to put this in the context of this was the American economy. And to end slavery, no matter how brutal, dehumanizing, and immoral, would have collapsed the economy in the colonies. And if the economy would have collapsed, there could have been no revolution. There could have been no war. And England just would have assumed power over the colonies all over again. It's very, very complicated. But if you understand this perspective of history, there was a motivating factor to try and list slavery as the top grievance as to why these colonies wanted to form their own nation. It was not the only grievance, but Thomas Jefferson made it abundantly clear in his first draft of the Declaration of Independence that it was the biggest. But Northern and Southerners alike, members of Congress at the time, said we cannot end the institution because it is where fortunes are made and it is where and how our economy is propped up. I just think this is a very important part of history that most people are just hearing for the first time in 2026. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At UW Milwaukee, students don't have to wait until college to start building their future. Roar Ready lets students in K through 12th grade join in hands-on programs across campus, from science and tech to sports and more. Students try new things and meet new people and build skills that matter. Get started today at uwm.edu/roarready. That is uwm.edu/roarready. And get ready, 1017 The Truth Family Fest is back. Join us on Saturday, August 22nd from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at Riverside High School for a free back-to-school resource fair with live entertainment, family activities, and family and community fun. Vendors and sponsors can receive a spot by emailing Sierra.Brown at Milwaukee Black Media. That is Sierra.Brown, Cierra.Brown at MilwaukeeBlackMedia.com. Proudly sponsored by Educators Credit Union and American Family Insurance. So email Sierra and say, I want to be at the Truth Family Fest, and I want to have a booth, and I want to give away air conditioners, and I want to be a person that gives away backpacks to kids. I wish we taught kids how to read better, because we give a lot of backpacks away for kids that are illiterate. So I just hope. And backpacks last longer than a school year. I remember having like the same backpack all through middle school, but every year kids get new backpacks and new pencils and folders and school supplies. School supplies are expensive, by the way. Maybe that's why we give away so many backpacks. If you live in the city of Milwaukee and you go to every backpack giveaway, because if you go and show up, they'll just have piles of backpacks and there'll be school supplies in the backpacks. Some of them even give away computers. But if you went to every backpack giveaway that we have in Milwaukee, if you went to all of them, you would have 432 backpacks. You could sell backpacks like on eBay. I mean, don't do that, don't do that. Don't get stuff for free and then resell it. I'd hate for you to be that kind of a capitalist and maybe make a profit. That would be awful if you get a bunch of backpacks for free and then you sell them for $20 each with $50 worth of school supplies in them. I would never want you to do anything like that. I would hate it if you made a little bit of extra money profit and it's tax-free. Don't do that. That's not fair. To get all the backpacks and then sell the ones you don't need. You can go to a backpack giveaway and don't even have kids. They're not going to say, hey, do you have children? Nobody's going to ask you if you have kids if you go to a backpack giveaway and you get a backpack. In fact, you probably could say, too, be like, oh, my kids they're at summer camp. I need to take 5 backpacks because I have 5 kids. And they'll say, oh, here you go. Here's a 6th backpack in case somebody is pregnant and you want a 6th backpack. Take all the backpacks away. All right, what else we got here? What is this? What is this story? Oh. So the state Supreme Court ruled. This is a liberal court now. I got to give so many examples to black people of how white people can be racist. It's insane because we don't want them to be. But they are. We really hope in our heart of hearts that they're just not. But they really can't help it. It's like you don't want your spouse to be cheating. You know what I mean? And you try and look the other way and deny it. Maybe the slave trade should be looked at like divorcing your cheating spouse, but they take care of you. And if you divorce them, you'll be out on your own. And you're like, damn it, I'm not happy here. But they're taking care of everything. My car is in their name. They're paying all my bills. They're buying everything that I need. But I'm really unhappy. But at the same time, it's very hard to leave. So a liberal state Supreme Court that got their liberal majorities because those justices ran very heavy on a Democratic-leaning, progressive platform that I think African Americans and minorities gravitated toward, and that's why there's only 2 conservatives on the Wisconsin State Supreme Court. we have a bigger liberal majority in our state Supreme Court than the conservatives have a majority at the U.S. Supreme Court. So that's pretty substantial. But the fact that these liberal justices declared a minority scholarship unconstitutional. But here's the part that I don't want anyone to miss. They didn't have to do it. They could have said, we're not taking this case, or they could have said, it's narrowly tailored enough to where we can justify the constitutionality of Americans denied, including in Wisconsin, scholarship opportunities and educational opportunities to people who were minorities. And we can allow this scholarship because it doesn't really pay for all of your college. I mean, it's a decent grant, but it's narrowly tailored enough to where it still could exist. So they could have not heard the case. They could have said it can stand, the minority scholarship can stand, it is constitutional, we can justify it. Or they could have taken a third remedy, which was the voters are deciding on DEI on their ballots with a referendum in November. We'll just let the voters decide. The Wisconsin State Supreme Court did not take any of those optional and alternative remedies. They declared a minority scholarship unconstitutional because they said it's got racial bias in it. So I need you to understand where we're at right now. When liberals are saying that when black people get things that we believe that we were owed, and we can give you examples and reasons as to why we were owed, because we can give you entire epochs of history where we were intentionally left out because of our race. Now what some of these remedies do and what some of these scholarships do and some of these programs do, they say, okay, we acknowledge for a couple of hundred years black people were kept out of mainstream society. Here's what we are going to do for you now to try and rectify that and to get you kind of caught up. So the catching up programs, the DEI and the affirmative action, are now being made illegal and unconstitutional by the 14th Amendment that granted citizenship to black people. They are using a clause in the Constitution that granted us citizenship, and they're using it against us because you can't discriminate in America, right? But now white people are feeling discriminated against. And if white people are losing their majority status because their populations are declining, they want to make sure that constitutions are changed either at the federal level by these new rulings that the Supreme Court is coming up with, or at the state level to make sure that in a country that will ultimately see a white minority, they are still going to be protected long after they lose the majority. And that is precisely what is happening. And there's unintended consequences of that. It also is going to look like more oppression of black people. It's going to be more crime. It's going to be more violence. It's going to be less funding for anti-crime and violence programs because at the federal level, that's DEI. Even if something is designed to prevent crime and reduce poverty in the black community, it has been written out of federal budgets because anything that helps black people and black communities where those communities have been left out and left behind, anything that assists to make them whole is now considered racial discrimination on behalf of white people. This is where we're at, and you can not like it, you can disagree with it, you cannot understand it. It is not going to change the fact that even liberals are more comfortable being racist. Now, I don't know the political affiliation of the people at Good Karma Brands, but I sometimes suspect. But it seems like politically they blew with the wind because 1017 The Truth was started after George Floyd, but Donald Trump was president, and there was like a sympathy for the black condition. Like, oh my God, George Floyd got murdered. This is terrible. Let's do a bunch of stuff for the black people. You got to be careful when you do a bunch of stuff for black people because we will excel at a pace that is breakneck and frightening. And quite honestly, it's intimidating to white people because white people tend to move slow. Black folks catch up fast. So 1017 The Truth was started during that sympathy period where, oh my God, blacks are being killed by the police. We feel really bad for them. Let's give them a new media outlet. And it was also sold under Donald Trump, but during his retribution term. That's really, really deep when you think about it. Our radio station, and this is objective. This is not me like poking fun. I'm just looking at the facts and giving examples of where we are as a nation. There was a period of time where you could be pro-black and have a black business. Do y'all remember when DoorDash and Amazon had like whole separate categories on their websites? Here's food from black restaurants if you want to support black. During that George Floyd thing, it was all sorts of pro-black stuff. Amazon said, if you want to buy products from African-American makers, here's all the black products. There you go. All that is gone. Black Lives Matter signs, gone. It seemed like white people genuinely cared. It seemed like they cared more about us after George Floyd than they did when Barack Obama was doing a great job running the country. They saw George Floyd like, oh my God, we got to do something. And they did. It was DEI everywhere. I knew people personally that got six-figure contracts, black people now, they got six-figure contracts that otherwise never would have gotten them to come into corporate office spaces and teach diversity. And I can say this now, even though I probably shouldn't. Some of the black people that got these six-figure contracts to do like diversity trainings, because a lot of white companies are like, oh, snap, I hope we're not racist. We don't really have a lot of black people here. So let's hire a black person and have that black person come in and do like staff retreats on racial sensitivity and racial bias. And I know at least 4 black people that got better than $100,000 contracts to put on these diversity trainings. And they flew all over the country doing these. And they said, Sherwin, you better come get some of this money. Come get some of this money. You better come get some of this money. I was like, well, I can't just travel like that. No, Sherwin, they're giving out contracts because they feel sorry for black folks. And several of those black people were not qualified to put on a racial sensitivity training. They weren't. Because I saw a bunch of them had PowerPoints. Because I was inquiring. I was like, well, okay, if you guys are getting paid all this money, let me see like what kind of programs you're putting on. A couple of people sent me their PowerPoints. It's so elementary. If you cross the street when a black person is coming your way, you is a racist. You need to stop it. It wasn't like intellectual. It was just a bunch of stereotypical stuff. And they got paid big money. All that is gone now. The sympathy for black people is gone. There even used to be a time where if you were a black person running for public office, white people would totally vote for you because by doing that, they could absolve themselves from having to do anything else to help black people. Because if you're a black person with a decent political agenda, the whites will vote for you. It depends on the climate, like the political climate. They're like, oh yeah, blacks are suffering, and if I elect this black person, it makes me feel good. I think Mandela capitalized off of that. Here I go bringing up Mandela again. His name is Jesse, too. It's not even Mandela.
I think you talk about him almost every episode.
Better him than your girl.
Why?
Because you don't want me talking about your girl.
Well, you already know the Tea Party's happening.
What Tea Party?
I mean, I think the Democratic Party is undergoing their own little Tea Party.
That's not a good thing, Xavier. And I'm telling you right now that this whole democratic socialism thing, it is a fever dream because black folks are going to have no part. And if y'all think that you can win, I'm saying y'all, without us, you're going to learn the same thing that Bernie Sanders learned. And then what's going to happen is the white people that are really dedicated to democratic socialism, because it still is a white movement. It really is. Progressives and the far left progressive, it's still run and controlled by white folks. It just is. Now, there's black folks involved, but it's still a white political movement. And when black people don't get on board and support it, then they're going to blame black people. Just like if Tom Tiffany or if Donald Trump gets elected, we didn't look at white women and the fact that they vote Republican in damn near every election in the last 70 years. We're like, oh, because black men voted for Trump. They're going to blame us. We warned y'all with Bernie Sanders, don't bring that democratic socialism mess to us because it does not address the issues of race. Everything is not about economics. Some black folks are rich and are still getting called the N-word. Democratic socialism doesn't have a program for that. They don't know how. It's a white movement. I can't expect white people to deliver for us.
Have you looked at the candidates that have been winning?
No.
They have been all people of color, not white people.
Now, you stuck on that island,
I'm just
brother.
telling you.
You on the internet too much now.
I think you're just
I think that you are also 20 years younger than I am and from a whole different world and universe, and your political perspectives and what you gravitate toward and what makes sense to you is a different planet than me. And I think that you, God bless you, are trying to get me to think like you, but who would I be if I'm thinking like someone who was 20 years my junior and has never worked their entire adult life in politics? No offense. I'm just saying you're coming from a different place than I am. And so what will happen is you will respect my political views based upon my seniority and age and the fact that I dedicated my life to it. I didn't just see a bunch of stuff on the internet that looked really, really good and speaks to me, because what speaks to young people doesn't necessarily speak to me.
Well, I guess time will tell.
It certainly will. Who is this on line one?
Oh, that's your favorite person.
I got
Whiskey Lips. I got distracted by you. I couldn't put her name in the thing.
I got to take a break before I talk to Whiskey Lips.
Okay.
Linda, look here now. When I take your call, let's shorten up the intro. Okay? Linda makes her telephone calls seem like it's her intro to her radio show. I'm just going to have you just shorten it up a little bit, Linda. All right? I'm going to let you get your words together and let you think about how you're going to shorten up your intro. We'll come back and talk to Linda. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At UW Milwaukee, students don't have to wait until college to start building their future. Roar Ready lets students K through 12th grade join in hands-on programs across campus. From science and tech to arts, sports, and more, students try new things, meet new people, and build skills that matter. Programs are led by UW Milwaukee faculty, staff, and current students. And it's easy to register online. Get started today at uwm.edu/roarready. UW Milwaukee. Roar Ready. Your child's future starts here.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Let's just go right to Linda. Hey, Linda. How are you?
Good morning, Sherwin.
Hi there.
Good morning, Sherwin. It's all about personality. It has nothing to do with me thinking that this is my show.
Oh, okay.
However, I would like to say
you got to give us some kind of intro. You got to say hi to Truth Nation. You got to do something.
Well, see, I'm not going to do it now because you just shit on it. So
Linda, you can't say the S word.
Huh?
Now we got to cut.
Okay.
Linda, you a little emotional. Did you dump that? All right, go on.
I hope so. But all of the word salad about DEI and, black people, where's our check? Okay, because if you want to eliminate identifying black people as a special people and that they should not be a special people and they should not be identified as a special people, then let's use the same word salad and say all humans. Because we are all humans, and no human is superior over another human. So maybe these democratic socialists who are supposed to have high IQs need to rethink and redefine how they approach these enemies, because that's what they are. They are an enemy to America and Americans. But
hold on, wait. Wait, hold on, Linda. So we're clear. The democratic socialists you believe are an enemy to America?
No, I'm saying the Republicans, the racist Republicans, racist Democrats, racist people.
Okay.
See, this is the thing. We keep categorizing, and we don't realize that when we put people in a word or a category, we are also perpetuating the spell that word in that category carries. So let's eliminate this and make everybody a human and approach it that way.
So should we no longer? So I just want to make sure I understand, because if I'm confused, there might be somebody else listening that's confused. So we should take away.
Well, we are confused.
Hold on, Linda. We want to take away all of the categories, so we don't look at the impact of race, so we don't look at the impact of maybe gender. We're just all human. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, because they are denying in their word salad. They are denying that because they don't experience it. They don't know what the experience is like.
Fair enough.
So
but Linda, just know that when you
approach-
want to eliminate the categories that people are in, whether we like it or not, you're actually doing the Republicans' bidding for them, because they think that racism doesn't exist. And if you say that we're all quote unquote human, that is actually what a lot of them are saying. Like, oh, we don't need these different categories. We're all just people. And if you put us all in the category of people, which we are, okay, then you don't have to give black people anything. Then there's no check. There's no opportunities. There's no minority scholarships. There's no looking at the past and trying to correct it.
Right, that's what they're trying to say. They're trying to say, we've been rigging the game, so let's just make the game fair to all human beings. And I'm saying, I understand, I'm a black woman, the least respected in the game. I'm saying that we need to rethink and approach how we're going to approach this, because they're using word salad that appeases people.
Okay.
You know,
who are the ones that
general
need
sense.
to rethink and
But
reapproach, Linda? Who is the
Huh?
we? You said that we need to rethink and reapproach. Who is the we that needs to rethink and reapproach?
All of us who are victims of racism.
Okay.
And who oppose it.
Yes.
And that's beyond black, because we know that we stand alone in our experience. Come on.
Okay.
But we have to also realize that our freedom has never been free in America. And I get so triggered when I see them literally in our face in live time rewriting our history, trying to say ancient Egypt and putting white folks on ISIS, white folks on Horus. And I'm like,
So what are you proposing, Linda? Tell me what your idea is. We need to rethink and reimagine. Okay. That's the idea you're proposing. We got to rethink.
And reapproach. Use your higher intelligence to show these monkeys that we are superior in our intelligence, and we can do this by rethinking, reapproaching how they are approaching this. They're trying to say racism doesn't exist. Black people don't need special treatment. So then let's approach this as a human being. All humans deserve the right to pursue happiness.
That's right. Okay. That's what we're going to do.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great vacation. You need that vacation, too.
Lord,
because you be stressing out and your blood pressure be high as a giraffe's vagina. And you need to learn how to manage that, because you get emotional in your political.
Yeah, but Linda, I don't cuss. You just said the S word. Just everybody is going to be
I know
fine.
I get passionate. I told you I try to be, you stir up emotions that
then learn to control your
emotions with us.
Now you got me yelling.
Yeah, and that's what I do when I get ready to get sexual back. All them emotions gonna come out of somebody.
You need a good spanking. You need a spanking.
You can spank me, Sherwin. Yes, you can. I would let you spank me. Yes, I will, because I know Sherwin is a real man. Bye, Sherwin.
All right. I shouldn't have said that. She said that I could spank her. I don't know. We have a whip sound effect, because I wouldn't use my hand. I'd use. Let's talk to Al. Uh-oh. Hey, Al. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing fabulous, but we're going to have to clean in-house. See, these Republicans, y'all keep up all this drama because you're mediocre and you're subservient. Now, what y'all raising all this $1 million of hell, but your Congress is married to immigrants. But I don't hear y'all say nothing about that, you bottom feeders. Then y'all bring up the LGBT. You have an LGBT in the Congress, okay? Married to a white man, licking a white penis, raising a white Caucasian child. But you don't talk about that, and we don't care if you adopt black foster children because you're just using them for a goddamn check. Because the more they're effed up, the bigger the check is. So we don't care about you keeping foster kids. That was played out in the 80s, back in the day when the church people get a bunch of church kids to get a bunch of raggedy-ass Cadillacs, Lincoln Town cars, and conversion vans that sit next to the goddamn garage. Let's take it further. Y'all talk about people coming over here and getting pregnant and having kids, but y'all the main ones showing up for Esting the kids, the little boys, the little girls. Some of you are old, dried up, out of shape, used up, beat down by the devil. You can't even get it out to even make an effing child. So why are you worried about kids? How about take care of them derelicts, them junkies, and them little whores that you're raising that ain't nothing but runaways that you got to go find at the truck stop at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, understand me. But you keep putting us in your toilet mold, sugar, honey, iced tea. Why do you keep putting us in it? But see, the real reason you're mad because you're mediocre and you got this thing with black men. It ain't with black men. It's with that big black dick gravy. That is what it's about. But see, y'all wasn't taught to give your best while being raised. See, you were taught that your skin color, because you're white, is the best. Let me tell you things that's white. Cocaine is white. How about that? Gonorrhea and chlamydia and the leakage from your urethral penis is white. How about that? The pus from a pimple on your forehead, and some of y'all get it behind your ears, and some of them you get it on your rear end, and if you have it in your inner thighs and it's bleeding, you got HPV. That is an infection, okay? So y'all need to come back to grips. Only thing y'all have to do is mind your business. What's so wrong about minding your business, okay? What's the problem with that? Y'all always want to be in somebody else's business, but not even take care of your own home. Take care of your own home before you throw shots. Because if we pull everybody's pants down, all of y'all got secrets. And you want to hear the real truth? Half of y'all who claim y'all all about white, y'all don't even like each other. Y'all talk about each other about like they garbage. From the poor ones who live in the trailer park with the bad septic system, with the 4-bar tires on the trailer, even to you well-to-do whites who got money. Y'all all talk about everybody like trash, including your own. Some of y'all even talk about your kids, because some of y'all mad that the woman you got pregnant was a woman you didn't even want kids by. And that was for convenience. So before you kick off all this drama, take care of your in-house. And before I go, have a good holiday and stop looking at your kids with lust. That's why they're junkies now. We find them all on the south side. Oh, Mr. Hughes, another thing I forgot to tell you.
Oh, forgot. Okay, what else?
There's nothing wrong with interracial dating, but back in the day, a lot of times they would do interracial dating so they can get the apartment buildings, the Cadillacs, the G-Wagons, because, you know, when it comes to the black men got that good dick gravy, okay? You ever heard of chicken and biscuits? But you always had big sausages when you had chicken and biscuits, because it's about serving it thick with that mean varicose vein at 2 o'clock in the morning. Have a good day, y'all, and have a buzz ball. Bye-bye.
That was awesome.
So many things went wrong that I couldn't.
He's very impassioned.
Yeah, everybody's all hyped up today. You know,
well, it's your last day. They're gonna miss you.
What? Why? I don't understand. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna take a couple of days off because I need it. Clearly, Linda said that. Did you hear what Linda said? Linda said my blood pressure is higher than a giraffe's vagina. I will have you know that I went to. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, which I was, you got to go to the doctor, but my friend took his boat up to Port Washington yesterday. And they waited for me to get off the air because I was going to ride with him up to Port, but I couldn't. I had a doctor's appointment. My blood pressure is 78/118, so I'm fine. I'm worried about you all. I'm a little worried. All right, I'm going to take a break, come back. This will be my last segment until I come back on Monday. I'm also not going to be doing the Hughes Views 414 podcast. And I might post a little video, but we're not going to be live tonight because I'm starting my vacation when I leave here.
Martha's going to miss you tonight.
Who's Martha? Oh, Martha is your alter ego. All right. The transgender person. All
yeah,
right.
Martha's going to miss you a lot.
You sound like Kermit the Frog. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Make your home and family safer by properly getting rid of nasty chemicals and fire hazards. MMSD's Home Hazmat program offers 3 drop-off centers that are open all year long. It's fast and easy. You don't even have to get out of your car. And it's free to visit a drop-off. Lithium-ion batteries, old gas, propane tanks, they take all of that and more. For a list of things you can and cannot bring, locations and hours, go to MMSD.com. Milwaukee County residents only. No businesses.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jackamick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackamick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Milwaukee College Prep is still enrolling scholars from K-3 through 8th grade for the upcoming school year. They've got 4 high-performing campuses, and award-winning educators, and a proven track record for academic success. Don't wait. Limited seats are available. Apply today at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com or call 414-264-6000. That's 414-264-6000. Life's better when you know you're covered. With a home and auto policy from American Family Insurance, you're not just buying coverage. You're getting an agent who helps you feel protected and prepared, someone who understands what you've built and what you're building next. Because when your home and your ride are protected the right way, you're free to focus on your family, your goals, and your future. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin. Guess you'll get the last word today, Bob.
Hello, Sherwin. Listen, Juneteenth. I don't know if it was a year ago or 2 years ago, and you walked beside me. You were walking fast, and you said, "Do you need some help?" And I said, "No." And then when you walked away, I noticed you wouldn't get bit by a snake like a white guy said, like a white guy would, like Richard Pryor said. However, it was a little too cool for how, that you are. So I just want to suggest that whenever you go up to an individual and interact with him, you let him know, I'm not cool, I'm square. And then start your conversation. But you need to say that first. And I will talk to you later, sir.
So, see, y'all, did you hear that? Sherwin, why you always so mean to Bob? Why you always messing with Bob? Let me say something. Let me just go ahead and say this for the record. Don't let me catch Bob walking by himself near a flight of steps. He gonna make it down the bottom of them steps even faster than he ever thought he could go. That Juneteenth Day was like 5 years ago. I was leaving, and he was walking through the crowd, knocking people. He got a cane, and he's not very careful with the cane. He's putting the cane, crushing people's feet with the cane, and he's just reckless with the cane. And I walked with him for a little bit till I realized that he walks too slow. I got to get the hell out of here.
Well, when you have dementia, you can only remember things from the past sometimes.
I think Bob has been like this his entire life. I think that when he was 14 years old, he would just... What did we learn today? I don't know.
Doing it for the ancestors?
Ah, yeah. Oh, we got to check the YouTube poll. Good God. All right. The question we asked you on YouTube: do you have an air conditioner in your primary residence? 93% of you do, 7% of you don't. This whole thing was because I wanted to use the YouTube poll to talk about a program where if you're a senior citizen, you can get a free window air conditioner and get it installed in your house for free by Fred Collier, but they ran out of air conditioners. And I gave the damn number out 3 times, and they had already run out of air conditioners because I didn't think for a second how popular a free window air conditioner would be while we're having this heat wave of a lifetime. So I was like, oh, let's ask people if they have air conditioners. Oh, good Lord. What happened today? I thought they went well, and then they did. Linda's cussing. Al'd today. He owls more than other days. This was the most owl I think I've ever heard. He really owled.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, kind of.
Aren't you, like, as a producer, like, supposed to, like, do something when he owls? I know Zach does. Zach will cut somebody off. Zach will know what a caller is thinking. No, I just hung up on the call because they was about to say it. I felt in my bones that they was about to say something. I'll be in the middle of a conversation with somebody, and all of a sudden dial tone, bloop. I'll be talking to somebody.
I'm a man of the people. I try to give them what they want.
You can't. No, not here. You can't give these. Do you read the stuff they say in the comments?
Yes.
You cannot give these people what they want because what they want, sometimes they deserve it.
I guess. I just like to let people speak their truth.
Hey, you know what, Sherwin? Guess what happened to me the other day? Hey, Sherwin, you know the developers over and up. And to you Republicans that's always dreaming about little boys. When I come back on Monday, very refreshed from the holiday weekend, we're going to be on the straight and narrow. We're going to walk a narrow path, and then I won't have to do as many. Okay? Thank you, guys. I'll be back on Monday. Have a safe weekend, and be careful because safes can get cracked.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades